Hey Google, what's the weather?
Currently in Seattle it's 44 and cloudy. Today, it'll be cloudy, with a forecasted high of 53 and a low of 42.
Thanks, Google. Tonight we'll be looking at more cloud coverage. Winds will be light and variable. Light rain on Thursday with highs in the mid-50s. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
No, really. Run for the border.
Uh-oh.
Where are we going?
What?
Where are we going?
Nowhere till I tell what time it is, you guys. Calm down. I know these are great stories.
Yeah, what did
every
you do,
morning
man?
right now.
I just want to know which border, Mexico?
My God. No,
All right, what time is it, Danny?
I'm not telling now.
We're going to the border of Guam.
It is 5:46. No, because you have to pass a bunch of borders to get to Guam.
I don't know. I don't think you do.
No, yeah, I guess there's a direct flight in there.
Yeah.
What the hell did Hop and Dave get here? Anyway, no matter what you say to me, it is 5:46. Let's see, it's 5:46. I'm Danny Balducci. This is KZOK. Google, what's up? All right, it's all good. Hi, morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Where are we going?
I'm not taking you.
Oh.
That's all there is to it.
I thought finally we were going to get that show road trip that we've talked about.
Oh, we
for the
do
past
talk about that a lot.
10 years.
Yeah, no, I'm afraid that is not happening. Because believe me, if I went and pitched a network roadshow, I would say, I'm not doing it without those two. I'd absolutely say no to that money, fame, and prestige. Probably the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame,
Right.
under the their new travel umbrella that they
Yeah.
have.
I mean, we'd
Television-
share it as a trio.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't really.
We'd be like that William Shatner show with Henry Winkler. The
Yeah.
old guys.
And Terry
Victoria-
Bradshaw.
Better late
Yeah.
than never?
By
Yeah.
the way, I don't consider Henry Winkler that old. Is he old
He's
enough
like
to be?
100.
Is he old enough to be
He
in an
looks
old guy's
pretty
show?
old in that show.
He does look pretty old.
Yeah.
I saw him not too long ago. He's the producer of everything.
Really?
Oh yeah. Let's see. He was the producer of Hollywood Squares. He's the producer. He may be the producer of that show, but he's one of Hollywood's bigger producer types.
I did not know that. He's
So-
a big fan of yours.
He is a big fan of mine. I am a big fan of his, although he's overly nice. He's kind of frightening.
Oh.
Because
You
it's
shake his hand, and he puts another hand on your hand, the two-hand thing.
Yeah.
And then, like where I would say, how are you? He would say, how are you? No, really, because I think I worry about your concern. Is your wife is like, what? You don't know any of these things. So anyway.
72 years old.
Wow, way older than he was like 80 when he played the Fawn. Then he said, hey. He was going, hey, I'm dying. That's what he was saying. So anyway, the lovely wife comes back from, where the hell did she go? Oh, Taco Bell. That would explain a lot. She comes back from Taco Bell, and she seems all flustered. And we have a fairly big day planned for her to be already flustered because we're going to compete in some kind of games. That's what we've been doing lately. And she is going to go down in incredible defeat and flames, because I am. I'm going to set her on
Mad
fire
about
when she
ping
loses.
pong.
Yeah, it's gross. So she comes home and she says, I don't know what to do. And she tells this story about going to Taco Bell, and that there's this kid who appears to be special in some way, not anything overt or anything like that. And I said, honey, he's working at Taco Bell. He's not he's not a rocket scientist. It's nothing big. And she said, no. I gave him a 20 for something that was $11, and he gave me back $18 change.
Oh.
To which I say, Score.
Yeah.
Right there. Let's go buy
Bonus.
Let's go buy more stuff. Let's buy it from him just to secretly taunt him.
Well, and you got a pretty good shot at getting too much change the next time.
Around.
Why not let it ride?
We're like, I don't know, $6 up on this kid. And I said, oh, you're gonna let him take the heat for that? And she looks at me and I said, that's gonna come out of his paycheck.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to cover that. And she said, no, he's not. I said, oh, yeah, he is. And I'm almost thinking about saying, no, I used to work at Taco Bell. But I think she's heard enough stories from around the years that, no, I never actually worked at a Taco Bell. But I want to make her, the game is, because I love her so much, I want to make her feel terrible. That's the game. So I said, come on, man. What are you going to do about this poor kid? It's going to come out of his salary. They're going to yell him. They can fire him. How's he going to afford helmets? We don't know what this guy might do. And so she said, oh, you really think I should return the money? I said, absolutely. Now I go to ignore all this because I'm done. I've had all the fun I'm going to have. So we decided to go to Inner Bay golf range.
Yeah.
Driving range. It's right up here. You could probably see it from here if you wanted to. And so we get in the car. And the crazy woman stops at Taco Bell. And I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm going to return the money. I go, don't return the money. They're not going to know whose shift it happened on. And she goes, no, you're right. And I'm going, oh, I did say all these things.
Did this?
Yeah, no, I brought this upon myself. I just didn't want to do anything about it. I just wanted to taunt as many people as possible. So we got out of the car. We go in. We explained to the man. And literally, they didn't seem to comprehend what we were doing there. At all.
That you were returning the money?
Yeah, I think we got too much change because we didn't want to say who got the change, whose fault it was. So she said, I looked at the receipt here and I think I've got like $6 too much change, to which they said, and that got old kind of fast. Nothing, not a thing.
They didn't care at all?
No, and we kind of had to force the money upon them.
Wow.
Because they didn't seem to understand what was happening. Here's what was happening. Here's the thing. Oh, excuse me. We were here. We just got a chicken face chalupa or whatever we got.
Yeah.
We paid $20. It was $11. You gave us $900 change. Here's your money back. We want to give back the money to Taco Bell.
Yeah. Just no response.
So finally, we left it on the counter and left, and nobody feels better.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, she doesn't feel better.
Well, she's a criminal. She was supposed to return it from the get-go.
Right. No, because she drove through, and she wasn't sure. I don't even know when. Like, let's make her guilty of another crime. She's counting her money while driving.
Distracted driving. She's a criminal times two.
So whatever it is, by the time she gets home, which is a mile and a half from Taco Bell, she's aware of this. I talk her into feeling terrible about herself, which I think is nothing but fun.
You're totally right that at the end of the night, when they count everything up, they're going to freak out about that $6.
Well, they are. I mean, I didn't. I mean, that's what I thought and believe, but I imagine nobody's on the. Oh no, they got a key that registers it's them. Yeah. So,
Derek, you worked in fast food. Did you have to give the money back?
I think there's some sort. Well, they do count the tills at the end of the night,
Right.
but there's some sort of period that's kind of a grace period where it's like a $10 range.
That's
they're not
what
gonna
I
come
said.
down too hard on you.
I said, when you're hiring people who are willing to work at Taco Bell, this has got to happen all the time.
Yeah, tills are never counted back exact. It
That's
happens.
what I said.
I would
she
be
pushed
skimming
him already.
$9 every day.
She already passed him to the grace period, though. Like, if it's $10, and she already pushed him to the limit, so he's probably down like 30. If he's that bad at math, like you said.
If he messed up with other people throughout the day.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're the Bondichis. We're not responsible for other people. We're responsible for her $6. But the point is, she returned it.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to want it.
They should have thanked her.
Dude, I wanted like
put a picture up on the wall, sainthood maybe.
I wanted one of those tacos with the shell made of an egg.
Oh yeah, definitely free food.
Free
Yeah.
is what I wanted. I didn't want it, but I wanted it once
Right.
they seemed disinterested in the amount of money I was trying to give them back. And my wife, who I kept referring to as the criminal, and maybe she didn't love that. So I said, you don't understand, you guys. My wife, the criminal right here, she took your dough, and we're pointing at the guys from that guy right there. And we would like to give you your dough back because she can't sleep at night with her guilty conscience. And they said,
Nothing.
there's a ton of that going on.
Is it possible that they've listened to the show and they know how much you've stolen from them?
I've only stolen ketchup and hot sauce.
Yeah, all the sauces. You
And
say
that's
mountains of sauces.
Would you put
described it as.
hot sauces in bins if you didn't want to steal? When I
But
steal
you're not supposed to take the bin.
a handful, which is I'm going to go with 6 packets of something. That's out of a bin of 100.
Yeah.
They're
For
begging
everyone.
for that.
That's 100 for everyone.
I don't care about everyone. I just gave back money to a poor handicapped child. What'd you do yesterday? Nothing.
Earlier this morning, there was a very serious crash on northbound I-5. There was a vehicle, a construction truck that was parked in a construction zone on the side of the road. Another truck driven by a single occupant crashed into it. That person became trapped. They needed all hands on deck to get that person out of the vehicle. That person was taken to Harborview in serious condition. Thankfully, the construction crew that were in the truck, which was parked legally, are fine, minor injuries. There were really bad crashes, like there was debris all over the road.
Right.
It took them a long time to clean everything up, but Derek will continue to keep you posted, as it does look like northbound I-5, this is near Mercer, has been cleared. That person, though, who was involved in this crash, thought to be under the influence.
Oh, is that right? I'll tell you a couple of things I found interesting on that. One, this guy's in real bad shape, yet the back of the truck, the bumper's ripped off, but it doesn't seem the end of the world. Then you get up to the front of the truck, and from the angle I could see by the camera, the bags weren't deployed. And they're making it like he was had to be extricated from the vehicle. That's exactly, matter of fact, that's exactly what they said. And I just didn't see it, but I guess maybe he had some kind of medical injury. Then part two, grammar, Tracy Taylor. I don't even know if this is right or wrong. One of us is probably right or wrong. She kept saying it was an entrapment accident, which I don't think it is.
Like they tricked him into
that's weird.
Right,
crashing?
that's what I thought. They said, come here and go 80, there's no cops, or whatever it is. But she didn't say it once and then get correct. They wear those earphone thingies, so I think maybe it must be right. But she said 3 times, we're slowing down at Mercer. We have a very serious entrapment accident.
Maybe it's a different type of description for traffic people. It's like entrapment as opposed to entrapment. If you are with the police, it's entrapment with an E. Maybe she means like some sort of trapped with
That's obvious. It's obviously what she meant. I'm saying, is she saying the right word? Entrapment.
heard it.
Oh, this is an entrapment accident. I think she's a crazy person.
I think so too. Let's all agree she's a crazy person.
We should. All right. That's it. Back to you then.
A 17-year-old burglary suspect was arrested after the homeowner caught the teenager in his basement and held him at knife point until police arrived. A second suspect was able to get away, but according to Bellevue police, this happened about 2 a.m. The homeowner heard footsteps and sounds inside his home. While deciding to check the scene out, discovered the 2 suspects. One immediately fled. The second, that 17-year-old, was found and caught by the homeowner. The homeowner armed himself with 2 large kitchen knives, yelled at the suspect to lie down, which they did, and the homeowner...
Right there. I have knives. Lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah, those big, huge...
Well, it seems like something you only
chef
see
knives.
like in TV shows or the movies. Like, oh, I heard a noise. I'm going to go grab a kitchen knife.
Yeah, seriously, but not just one. Grab 2.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Isn't that what you do if you heard a noise? Oh, you have guns.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. I don't know
grabbed
that I would
knives.
sneak down to the kitchen and grab a knife.
I've grabbed knives more than once in my house when I thought I heard a noise. I'm going to go creeping around my own home in the dark. I got to go in. The guest room's got no lights on. Murderer's in there. I just don't like his friend.
Yeah.
Leaving him?
That he got
Leave
away.
it him. It's a guy with knives holding the guy. He's busy. Clock him one. Well,
Right.
you shouldn't do that because you're the criminal. But you know what I mean? Don't leave your friend there.
Yeah.
Well, the second person was not found, but that one kid is booked. And as you say, Danny, they always turn on each other.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Absolutely. We'll lower your sentence right now. Just tell us who Little Stevie is. And we'll say Little Stevie. And that's I thought so.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is teaming up with Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles to introduce legislation that would remove hemp from the federal list of controlled substances.
They'll never get through. They'll just fight and fight and fight. I'll wait.
I don't get it.
What's his name?
McConnell? Mitch McConnell?
And the other one?
Ryan Quarles? He's okay. The Hemp Farming Act of 2018 would
I'd say it was
finally
good.
Yeah, it was.
legalize hemp,
Yeah.
designating it an agricultural commodity and removing it from the federal list of controlled substances. Now, a lot of people have been calling on this for years because you don't get high off hemp.
Right.
There is a
Which makes it
tiny-
stupid.
Well, it's a great fiber. It's something that can be used in
We got
food, and
lots
it's something
of
that people
fiber.
make clothing out of, like cotton.
They use it
What
in
happens
food?
if you eat fiber? You're
Do
not
people
even
like
hemp
eat-
to enjoy. You're not even high to enjoy that.
I think you can use like hemp flour and hemp oil to
Oh,
make
okay.
things.
You can.
I thought you just make rope and paper.
You know, you can make pretty much everything out
Yeah?
of this stuff. Yeah, it's a high quality. What is it called?
Crop?
Sure, that's not what I meant, but
All
yes,
right.
thank you.
Fiber?
No, I can't think of it. But not commodity. What do people make?
Textile.
That's the one.
All right. I was just going to keep saying words till we
Thank
got there.
you. Me too, apparently.
What's the blonde dude's name from Cheers?
Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson got in on hemp like 20
Boy, do you-
years
Oh, yeah, but he
You have
ago.
a
smokes it.
memory like a steel trap because that guy's bald more than he is blonde. I think you're thinking of what's that? The Hunger Games when he's got that long, stupid blonde hair.
Is he bald
Yeah.
in real life?
Yeah.
God, I saw him on an airplane a couple years ago. He still had something up top.
I think well, maybe he grows that out after the movies because he thinks he looks.
But
you
he
know,
shaves his head for most roles
yeah.
now.
Much
Because
like,
he's bald,
Bruce
I had no
Willis.
idea.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's pretty darn smart because he got in on the hemp business about 20 years ago in Canada, where they didn't have the strict regulations. But this could really open up agriculture here in the States. And as you said, a hot commodity. So we've been losing out because it's been in the same family as marijuana.
That's actually, I think, been in the same family as heroin for no good reason.
Well,
it's a Schedule 1 drug.
physically the same product. Like hops is also from the same family as marijuana. Hemp is the same family. Like the genus, the agricultural genus is the same plant.
I always thought I was the genius.
You are, Dan.
Whereas heroin is poppy, and that is not the same agriculturally speaking.
And is it when you look at it, does it look the same, a pot plant and a hemp?
To my knowledge, yeah. And that's
Yeah.
why some people have gone into hemp farms and stolen thinking cha-ching, and then they get it home, they're like, yeah, dummy, that's hemp.
I think that's also why the government hasn't lifted the restrictions before, because it's hard to tell the difference.
Yep. Well, and all of this is so regulated now, but a lot of people are saying this is a huge step because this is Mitch McConnell. This is a good step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I've got some bad news to report this morning. The flu season has been particularly bad this year. It peaked in February, but according to the CDC, it ain't over yet. There ain't no lady singing. They said the first time around it was the H3N2, and now we are getting the second round of that, which is a variation. They said even if you had the first one, you could still get the second one because they're calling it an A and a B virus.
Can you get a second flu shot in the same year?
You're not supposed to because it's still going to fight the same strain. So if you got the B, or say, Danny, you got the A, you were given an inoculation for the B. So maybe you won't get the B, but if you didn't have either one, you've already been inoculated for whatever the one it is that fights it.
It's the same flu shot, so taking it twice won't help.
Thank you.
So the flu shot fights one strain.
But that's the A.
In this case, they was fighting the A.
What
and
if it's the B?
then you're going to get the flu, Danny. Sorry. They said another round of influenza is going around. This time it's influenza B, and it strikes later in the season, which is now. Sorry to say.
But there's nothing we can do.
If you haven't gotten a flu shot yet, they're saying it's not too late. A ton of people don't get them.
Right? No, that's crazy.
On
Yeah,
this
crazy.
show,
But seriously, real question. I had the flu shot in September. I get it every single
Yes.
September. Is it healthy or okay? It has nothing to do with what it's going to fight. I just want to know, can I go get it
There's
if I
no
want?
reason you would do that.
That's not the point. The point is it going to make me sick or anything if I go get it?
I have no idea.
Oh, all right.
I don't think it'll hurt you, but I don't think that they think it will help you.
All right. Thank you for all of that.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the chickenpox vaccine, and then why would you go 6 months later to get the chickenpox
I
vaccine?
totally
You're already
think
vaccinated.
This is a road we should go down now.
But out of the show, 5 of us. Tori, did you get a flu shot?
I did.
Derek?
No, I despise shots.
Oh, dude.
I hate needles. I
Get
won't do
one
it.
anyway.
No, I don't like needles.
Chicken.
Yeah, totally chicken.
They suck.
How do you feel about punches in the face?
I'd take that over a shot.
Oh, well,
Wow.
there goes my threat right there. I was going to punch him in the face, but he took one.
I'm impressed because I think the 3 of us got one, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So only
Yeah.
1 out of 5. But so Derek is the one who should then be going to get one. Is
But
the
wait a
point.
minute. Out of all of us, I've been sick. You've been sick. Were you
None of
sick?
us have had the flu, though.
Not the flu,
But we've been sick. That's
Sure.
what I'm saying. We've all been sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember you being sick. Were you sick?
Nah, I've been pretty
You
healthy.
little creepy bastard.
My immune system is very strong.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Fight off all that candy and jasmine.
Jasmine, what?
That's the name of a
Stripper
stripper.
name.
Jasmine.
Okay, I got you.
Well, we can't help
Or
you.
a little princess. One of the two.
There you go.
We can't help you not get the flu, but we can help you with a chance to win some money. Cash is the keyword. 200-200, the place to text. KZOK.com for all the details.
Yeah, Derek, you should start texting so you can use that money to get yourself a flu shot.
Seriously, man.
Or some treatment for why he's so afraid of needles that he won't go to the doctor.
Yeah, that's what he needs treatment for.
I think the needle would be the treatment.
There's a new survey that has been done asking about people who like to join the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
And survey says 30% of people who have joined the Mile High Club have done so with a stranger. 30% of people who do that on airplanes.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I'm
It
with
is
you, man.
really, man. That's because, do you remember? Because you have to go back to, being really young. And I'm not saying being really young and doing any kind of deed at all sexually. But you remember what it was like to be in love when you were a kid? Well, that's what I was only like 15 when I had a romance on an airplane. She was maybe
Really?
17. Yeah. We didn't do the whole thing or anything like that. We didn't even go in the restroom or anything like that. But I just meeting a stranger and it's all exciting and you're in a plane and we're going to do this. It just seems awesome to me.
It seems absolutely disgusting to me. I think airplanes are the dirtiest, filthiest places.
So take out the bathroom and the act, but just the idea of like having that connection and romance on
fun.
On a flight, that's awesome.
I'm afraid to touch anything on an airplane, let alone have any naked parts touching.
Yeah, I'll take my chances. Totally. I can't think of it. I forget a lot of important things in my life. But man, I'm like 15 going to visit my mom, sitting next to this girl. She was 17 or 8 older than I am. And we were snuggled up like under a blanket. And she was doing a little stuff, and I was touching a little stuff. And it was one of the. I'm 100 years old, and I remember that. It was bitching.
New Mexico State Police have arrested 5 people. They are suspected of attempting to kidnap in order to collect a drug debt. So these 5 people went to collect on the drug debt, said, you owe us the money. And that person didn't have the money. So they then said, well, we're going to take you. I guess that's what drug dealers do to get their money back. The person was able to call 911 because everybody's got a phone. You know how to pocket dial and stuff. They called 911. The cops arrived and arrested them. And said, what are you doing? And they said, well, they owe us $5.
What?
$5 drug debt.
Wow.
They take money very seriously in New Mexico.
They do. I was clocked over the head by a girl with a high heel pump that made me bleed, and it was over $10.
Jeez Louise.
But I mean, crackheads act oddly.
The statue of naked Donald Trump caused quite a ruckus. This was the one that was displayed here in Seattle. There was one in New York and San Francisco, L.A., Cleveland. You remember the one? Mm-hmm. Very large, naked. Features were over-exaggerated.
Right, but it had tiny little hands.
Yeah. Yeah, well, not all the features were over-exaggerated.
Nope, that is true. If you would like to own naked Donald Trump, you can, because there is an auction taking place in New Jersey.
I thought it was made of cheese or something.
No. Oh. It's an actual sculpture. It's the one that was here was inside of a storefront for a while. I don't know if it's still there. It was in Capitol Hill. But this time, because as I said, there were several. One of them is hitting the auction block, going up on Julian's. They said this is one that was not vandalized. It wasn't destroyed. Some people did not like the first one. And it is expected to sell for about $30,000.
Wow.
The money will go to the artist.
Good. The artist should get it. It's funny. If you did that with any other president in my lifetime, I would have vandalized it immediately. How dare you make an exaggerated, funny sculpture of my president of the United States? But I get it with this guy.
Yeah. Think about it. You're
he's
right.
He's all orange, which is weird. Why is he orange? I still don't understand why he's orange.
If we had done that with Obama, you're right. There would have been outrage.
I'd have gone out of my mind. That's the president. I'd have done it from Ronald Reagan on. As a matter of fact, Ronald Reagan is when I got all patriotic, man. But all the way through that, when the Dixie Chicks said we're ashamed of our president, and they said that in France, I never bought a Dixie Chick record again.
And before that,
I never bought a Dixie Chick, but I was planning on it.
All right.
But no, I hated them for that.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, if I was in France and they said, what do you think of your president? I wouldn't know what to do. I don't want to say anything bad about the president on foreign soil, but he's a clown. And how can they not know that all American, every single American I know personally thinks he's a clown?
Yeah.
An Australian veterinarian performed surgery on a python that had wandered into a home and eaten something it shouldn't have.
You said veterinarian, didn't you?
Yes.
I heard ventriloquist. Why the hell would they do that?
Where do you put the hand?
Who knows? But exactly.
So the ventriloquist performed surgery.
Yeah.
Just kidding. This was a carpet python who wandered into someone's home and ate one of his fuzzy slippers.
Oh.
That's really weird.
Well, they
Was it one of the bunny ones? Because I could
That
see
would
like
make
the
sense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They showed x-rays of the snake's belly, and you can see the slipper. I can't really tell what sort of fuzzy it is, but he clearly thought that it was an animal of some kind and ate it. But there was no way that slipper was going to get digested and come out.
There wasn't?
No, they wouldn't break down. Even all the acids that are in the stomach of a snake wouldn't break down the giant
can't.
slipper.
But a big snake can't pass a slipper?
Well-
There's the word slip in the title.
The last time we had a story in the news about snakes, Paul actually Googled it to find out where the excess comes out.
Yeah. And it's a very small opening, and they only do it, like some of them only a couple times a year.
What are we talking about?
The number
It's
two.
a small opening
Number
and they
one
only
or
use it
number
twice
two?
a year?
Snake number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I got confused.
So they gave it surgery. They did surgery?
That
Yeah.
seems like a lot of work for an animal
Yeah.
that's probably pretty good
Unless
eating.
surgery is chop its head off.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think carpet pythons are good eating. I don't know why I think
Do you
that.
know that they're not?
Absolutely, Danny.
My money is on that. Every snake I've ever eaten was yummy.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought snake is fishy.
No,
Not
yum,
yummy. Yuck. Alligator, meh.
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 Totally meh.
Like fishy chicken.
Although I have not had barbecued snakes since I was a youngster, but it seemed really good.
Well, you put barbecue sauce on any of that stuff and it's yummy.
That's true.
A lot of us have gone to weddings and seen people try to get creative, that they wanted to make their wedding stand out. I remember, Danny, you and I went to a wedding together where they decided to do some dance afterwards, and everybody had on sunglasses, and it was like a choreographed dance routine.
Yeah.
It only lasted maybe 10, 15 seconds. But my brother John, who I respect and admire, did a wacky dance with his daughter.
Yeah, I don't
Just all of a
get
sudden, everybody's either doing the father, whoever dance, and then all the friends part of the forge, and everyone, blah, and did a thing, and I hated
Yeah.
it. And my daughter's getting married, and please don't want to do that.
Oh, you got to get the YouTube hits.
I'll dance with the husband. He's 6'8". That'll be crazy looking.
Well, people try to do things that are creative, and actually this one, to me, sounds a little bit more like something your daughter would want to do. Instead of having a small, adorable child with rose petals being the
Flower
ring bearer,
Oh, ring girl.
you know, sometimes it's a kid, sometimes it's the best man. In this case, it was an owl. But what tends to happen?
What did they? I just watched all of Harry Potter last night, and that is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're doing a Harry Potter
Yeah.
wedding.
Exactly. Except what happened was the owl didn't behave all that well and decided to attack the best man.
So it sure wasn't really the best man. It was an okay man.
They thought it was hilarious because the best man is afraid of winged creatures, afraid of anything that flies. So this video, of course, has been huge on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
How do they train it to attack the one guy that's most afraid of it?
They can smell the fear.
Yeah, that must be it.
So they thought it was a real hoot. And
Oh, did they now? They thought it was a hoot.
The last 3 weddings I attended, I got married at.
well, that'd be really weird if this happens when you go to your daughter's wedding.
I don't, they're all gothy and weird. I don't know how they can pass through a metal detector with all the junk in their face. I don't know what these
A bat might be the ring bearer.
It's totally that. They just sent us these really gothic looking invitations.
Oh, you need to bring them in. I gotta see what they look like. Are they black?
Yeah. Well, they're dark gray. They're like ghosty cemetery, headstone-y.
Yeah.
They've got black writing on a dark gray thing.
It sounds.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like I'm paying.
I'm pretty sure you already did, my friend.
Man, my goodness gracious.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay!
A Florida man is accused of going into a pet store and then stuffing something down his pants. Cruz Orlando Garcia Jr. entered the pet safari in Clearwater with his accomplice, Crystal Dixon. Dixon distracted the store clerk while he then put down an electric blue...
I'm sorry, Derek knows her. The second he said her name, he looked up and made that sheepy face of, whoops, not Crystal again.
Yep, Crystal Dixon. This guy put down his pants an electric blue Acaris and a blue Ram cichlid. I don't know how you pronounce that fish.
Fish or lizards?
Okay.
Fish.
Fish.
He put fish down his pants?
Cichlid.
That one.
Yeah.
Why do you know that?
Because my dad used to actually run a fish store when he was
Really?
younger.
Oh,
Yeah.
The things we learned about Tori.
Aren't all of Tori's pets cichlids? And then eventually they're dead lids and then in the freezer lids?
Tori's dad
They're
had to
ice cubes.
stop running the fish store because she killed all the fish.
All right, so what's happening with this guy?
Well, he put all the fish down his pants and then ran out of the store.
Doesn't seem like a very good move.
They got Dixon. They did not get Cruz Orlando Garcia Jr. He made his way out with the cichlids.
Are these things in some kind of container with water?
Well, he might have had a tank in his car. I mean, they can
But what about in his
survive.
pants?
What about in his pants?
What was in his pants, Sarah?
Wouldn't you like to know?
It is the news.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
I guess we'll never know.
No, he's gone. I mean, you
Bastard.
can take a fish out of water for a good minute.
You can?
Oh, I think more than that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like he wanted to eat sushi. I don't think.
Well, we don't know what he wanted to
Yeah.
do. He's gone.
True, it is Florida. When we come back from our short break, bad news about that new David Bowie statue. That beautiful statue, the first one of its kind that ever went up in England.
In England, yeah.
Yeah. The town that wanted to change their name from Aylesbury to Aylesbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That statue. I've got
Bad
bad news about
news?
that. An amazing story about a rock legend pranking Gene Simmons.
Really?
Unbeknownst to Gene Simmons. And more changes are in store for the Seahawks. We'll tell you who else won't be back next season next.
We do have some minor slowdowns on I-5 northbound in Seattle as you make your way between the West Seattle Bridge and Mercer Street. Down in Puyallup, there's a minor slowdown there on 167 northbound as you make your way between Highway 512 and 8th Street. This traffic report was brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. American Standard Heating and Air sets the standard for in-home comfort. Now up to $1,000 off or 60 months special financing. Visit AmericanStandardNW.com for participating dealers, program eligibility, details, and restrictions, subject to credit approval. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey Google, what's the weather?
Currently in Seattle, it's 44 and cloudy. Today, it'll be cloudy, with a forecasted high of 53 and a low of 42.
Thanks, Google. It's looking mostly cloudy for the next couple days. We'll see light rain on occasion, but things are going to be looking up on Friday. We might get a few sun breaks. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
In music news, the world's first David Bowie statue was unveiled Sunday in Aylesbury, the English town where David Bowie first performed as Ziggy Stardust. Less than 48 hours later, it has been vandalized.
Really?
Reports came from The Guardian that said,
Well, if it was The Guardian, why didn't they protect it?
Right. Who would do this? Nobody hates David Bowie.
Nobody hates David Bowie. Although, the more I've been reading about it, he does have, didn't you say something about a Viagra? Now my microphone is falling. I just
Did you say something about Viagra?
You didn't say anything about
Off the
Viagra
air, I
being
did.
20 years old?
Oh.
So anyway, I was reading some disturbing things about Mr. Bowie, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, this had nothing to do with David Bowie, to be honest. There was a graffiti message that read, "Feed the homeless first." As in, why did you spend money
before
to put
you
up...
feed this statue? Who's doing that? That's stupid.
Now, there was also a brick wall behind it that had messages etched into the brick saying RIPDB. Now,
I'm not dead.
Right. But that sounds like a tribute, not, I mean, it's vandalism.
No,
yeah,
Yes.
that is a tribute. I would say two separate things.
Yeah.
One is feed the homeless or feed the starving before you make a statue of any celebrity. And I disagree. I think
it was crowdsourced, so I'm sorry, but I can contribute to the homeless or I can contribute to a statue. That's my prerogative.
my exact thoughts, young lady. That is exactly right.
Well, and the people who run this town said the irony is that taxpayers will now pay for the cleanup, so the vandal is the one taking money away from the homeless.
Well, vandals are fairly stupid. Otherwise, they wouldn't be vandals.
Legendary music producer Steve Albini says he once pretended to be Kurt Cobain when talking on the phone to Gene Simmons. He gave an interview, and Steve Albini said that the Kiss bassist called up during the sessions for Nirvana's 1993 album In Utero. Now, he said, this is a quote from Steve Albini, the producer, "Gene Simmons phoned the studio looking to speak to the band. He had been given the number by a record label or management. He called the studio, and Kurt didn't want to talk to him. He handed me the phone and said, 'You can deal with him.' So I pretended to be Kurt talking to Gene Simmons." They said they had this thing where you could record the telephone calls, so we recorded the conversation where Gene Simmons basically admitted he wasn't familiar with Nirvana's music or any of the bands that Kurt was friends with. So they had no respect for Gene Simmons and had no regrets about pretending to be Kurt when he was not.
I want to hear the call.
I want to hear the call.
Yeah.
Well, recently, Steve Albini did, I think he sold some of the microphones and some of the unreleased tracks. So this has got to be out there somewhere.
Somewhere, but you know what? Why was he calling the studio if he doesn't know any of the bands?
Because he probably found out Nirvana are really popular. He's like, oh, I'm going to call and talk to these guys. I'm going to find out if they want me to come in the studio and hang out with them. I don't know why he talks like that.
I don't know why he talks like that.
He does talk funny.
He does talk funny. I find the whole thing odd and suspect in a couple of different ways, but I believe it happened.
I definitely believe it happened.
But I mean,
because-
Tori knows 97 billion bands I don't know, and I'm on a music station. I don't think it makes me less of a guy because I don't know what a 22-year-old knows or whatever. I don't even know that she's not 22. But whatever it is,
not.
Right. I don't know what the Derek's bands are. I introduced some band yesterday as Guar, and they turned out to be Autopsy. I don't
But
think it's
imagine,
anybody's
Danny,
fault.
it's 1993. The biggest band in the world is Nirvana. and you also are in a band, and you think, well, I'm Gene Simmons, I'm the you-know-what. I'm going to call them up. I'm going to make sure that I'm part of this whole scene because it's huge. He was just being a poser.
Okay.
Everybody in the 90s knew who Nirvana was. He was just clueless and wanted to get involved.
But Gene Simmons is a poser. Everybody knows that. Gene knows that.
I'm sure he figured that there was some way he could make some money off.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
The release of the Queen biopic Bohemian Rhapsody has reportedly been pushed a month. The film, which stars Mr. Robot's Rami Malek, who stars as Freddie Mercury, will hit cinemas a month early.
Oh.
It was supposed to be coming out at Christmas. It will now be released on November 2nd. Now, we're not sure why. I think there was some issues with one of the producers being replaced, that maybe it's taking longer, or no, that would mean it would be the other direction.
It'll be interesting to me how they play Mr. Mercury in this.
It worries me that maybe it didn't turn out as good as they thought it would, because Christmas time is a pretty big time for big blockbuster movies.
But
That's
if a
valid.
month, doesn't that make it Thanksgiving? When's Thanksgiving?
A month before
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
So maybe it's a Thanksgiving release.
No, this is November 2nd. Thanksgiving is November 23rd.
Ah.
But I think, Paul, you're right that it's usually the biggest movie of the year comes out at Christmas.
Yeah.
That it's just meh. And the footage
Or they
we've seen
just
so far
don't want it
looks
to
great.
compete with, whatever
Other
else is
big
coming out.
blockbusters, because I've heard nothing but great stuff about it.
No, it looks fantastic. Well, over the weekend and the past few days, everybody talking about the Beyonce controversy, the big face-biting controversy.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out Tiffany Haddish gave an interview and said there was an after party back in December and an actress bit Beyonce.
Yeah, but what big stars haven't been bit on the
Exactly.
face?
I don't even think you're a big star until somebody bites you in the face.
I mean, Danny, you are a big star.
Yeah.
Somebody did bite you in the face.
Yeah.
But can you imagine somebody biting Beyonce?
I'll bite Beyonce right now.
I can't imagine someone getting close to Beyonce.
Yep.
Close enough to
Close
bite
No,
her.
because I think from what I'm hearing, the rumblings, it was a big star that had every right to be there.
Yeah, we haven't heard who it is yet.
No.
Right?
But the rumor is that it was actress Sana Lathan. And she has said, y'all are funny. Under no circumstances did I bite Beyonce. And if I did, it would have been a love bite. Then there was a
But
rumor.
wait, what is she saying to us?
If I did it, she's going to write that new book, If I Did It. Like OJ.
I bit OJ.
There was also a rumor that Sarah Foster, the actress, was the culprit. And she said, okay, fine, I did it. Beyonce knows what she did. No, actually, I just wish I was could get close enough to Beyonce to bite her.
That's what Paul said.
It
Yeah.
was not me.
That is what I said. I wish I could get close enough to Beyonce to bite her.
That's exactly what you said.
Then there was a rumor it was Taraji P. Henson.
Are there
A lot of
anybody whose
rumors.
name I know and understand?
Taraji P. Henson, she was just a
No, he made those puppet movies. I like them.
Yeah.
Academy Award nominee. She's in Empire. She was just nominated or just won an Academy Award. These are all well-known actresses who are denying
Well, they're
that
not
it
well known
was
by
them.
me.
You'll know them if you see them. Derek, what did Taraji P. Henson get nominated for? Was it Selma?
I don't know.
So not that well known by Derek. These
Yeah.
are posers as celebrities. Celebrities, that's Tom Hanks.
Sarah Foster is a super hot model. I think she's the one who bit Beyonce.
Just 'cause you went there.
And I want to see the video.
Did you
Oh,
find-
Taraji P. Henson was in Hidden Figures. That was last year, though.
Hidden Figures. Okay, there you go.
Oh,
Big movie.
which one was she?
I don't know.
All right then.
Sana Lathan was in Alien vs. Predator, Love and Basketball, The Best Man. She's on Broadway, Cat in the Hot Tin Roof, Raisin in the Sun, Now You See Me.
But these are all
Contagion.
people who hang around Beyonce, so it's not.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be weird
Right.
that they were close.
And did
to
this happen
Beyonce.
at a party?
Happened at a party in December, and Beyonce not talking about it. You know who is talking about something this morning is Corey Feldman.
Of course he is.
This morning, Corey Feldman sent out a tweet showing a picture of him, what appears to be in a medical facility, with the post, "I'm in the hospital. I was attacked tonight." He claims he was stabbed. He
Danny,
says-
we've already had a couple of listeners reach out via Twitter and offer an alibi if you need it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He said
Because
that-
I'd stab him.
Yeah. Well, you maybe shouldn't say that.
I
right
wouldn't.
after
I
you
wouldn't stab him like in a place I thought would kill him, but I'd stab him in both shoulders
Yeah.
why both shoulders?
because I don't think that would kill him, and I want to stab him twice.
Well, Corey Feldman is claiming.
What am I hearing though? Is this Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
and
Corey and his
Angels?
angels.
Yep, this song is called Go For It.
I will.
He claims that 3 men approached his car. It was him and his security riding in the car. One man yanked the door open, stabbing Feldman with something.
Great
He was
security.
then stabbed in the stomach, and he insists this is all part of his plan to blow Hollywood open and expose pedophilia.
The part of his plan was getting stabbed.
No, this was
Part of his
somebody
plan
tried to
was to
stop
blow
him.
Hollywood open.
Doesn't sound like he's got a great plan.
These are bad plans.
He should start with the head of his security team on working on a plan where you push that little button that locks the
Right.
door.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I mean, what
How
kind
does
of-
he afford all this security and chicks and all that stuff? I Googled him, and Google said he had $1 million left.
He had
which-
like a Kickstarter, one of those things
Oh,
going.
that's right. For his
Kickstarter him
blowing
right in the
For his-
face.
the doors
blowing
off
of-
Hollywood.
Yeah, with the
Open.
doors.
Yeah.
No.
Steven
He's
Spielberg
not
and
blowing the doors.
No, because most of them are dead.
Steven Spielberg and Javier Bardem are teaming up.
I like that guy.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg
Yes.
or Javier Bardem.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, everybody talking about Steven Spielberg because Ready Player One is coming out and people are losing their minds. This was a best-selling sci-fi novel and is being made into a movie that Steven Spielberg is helming.
Is it like, are they like half cartoony people?
Yes, it's virtual reality.
Yeah, don't care for it.
Well, if you know the backstory, I mean, the whole, like I said, this is a legendary sci-fi book that came out
Right.
many, many moons ago. This is a must-see for anyone who loves 80s nostalgia because everything, it's like Atari and all the music, all the different trends and everything from the 1980s.
Okay.
And it takes place in the future where the world is so destroyed that people live in virtual reality.
Is Mario in it?
Mario Lopez? No, he is not.
No, he's getting ordained in the River Jordan. or some
Baptized.
such thing.
Baptized.
Well, Steven Spielberg says he's got a new project with Javier Bardem to bring the blacklisted Hollywood actor Dalton Trumbo's 5 decades old script about Spanish conqueror Herman Cortez to the screen. Cortez, a 4-hour miniseries, will be made for Amazon Studios. Javier Bardem will be Hernan Cortez.
All right.
I am not familiar with Hernan Cortez.
I am, and he's a pretty bad guy, to be honest with you. I mean, not by that day's standards. You know, he's not necessarily a bad guy, but if I'm not mistaken, he kills a bunch of Mexicans and Incans and Mayans.
Yep.
And
That's what they did, right? The
Yeah.
conquerors, you went and conquered other lands to take them
well,
away.
and you also brought disease that wiped out everybody.
He did lead the expedition that brought down King Montezuma's Aztec
And then
Empire in the
don't-
1500s
Don't
to
you end
create
up
Mexico.
a VJ on MTV? No, that's Dan Cortez. Totally different guy.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI.
Yesterday, the Mariners defeated the Rockies 5-3. And guess what happens tomorrow?
They don't turn it around.
The regular season opens.
Yeah,
was
opening
cool.
day.
7:10, Safeco Field, the Cleveland Indians coming to town. Now, with the spring training wrapping up, we now have to get the roster set because you can only have a certain number of people on your roster. Thus, the Mariners have reassigned veteran outfielder Kirk Neuenhuis to the minors. They are waiting to find out the health of Ichiro Suzuki. He has had a couple of issues. We are finding out that the Mariners have signed somebody with a connection to Danny Bonaducci.
Really?
When we were in Philadelphia, your wife had a crush on a certain tall drink of water.
What can I say? Because my wife has 100 crushes on 100 guys. But the world had a crush on that guy.
Yes.
I forget his name offhand.
Jason Worth.
Jason Worth. Oh my God, this guy was handsome. And so we do an interview with this guy, and I start with thinking it's funny because everybody's got a crush on him, even me a little bit. I say, oh, that's what I said actually to him. I said, boy, does my wife have a crush on you? And he went, And I said, okay, that's not going to go. And I said, you know, I got it. You're so pretty. Even I have a little bit of a crush on you. And he said like 3 words and got up and left.
Yeah.
So we've
Really?
never been friends
That-
since.
That
Yeah.
did not go well.
It didn't go well. You're so pretty. I have a crush. Say that to me.
Danny, you are so pretty. I have a crush on you.
Well, thanks, man. I work on being this attractive. I really appreciate your style, bro.
I think that goes down in history as our shortest interview ever.
Yeah,
Jason
our
Worth.
worst is still that other dude that just caught on fire.
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
He caught on fire.
He always started some fire. He's a bastard.
He burned some other poor
Back
guy.
to baseball, people.
Yeah,
Jason
baseball
Worth
people.
has been
Baseball
signed to a minor league deal with the Seattle Mariners. Minor leagues for Jason Worth. He is an old man at 38.
And just can't be done playing, right? Because he's rich as Nixon.
Yeah, he just finished a $126 million contract with the Nationals.
So he just wants to play. God love him.
Yep.
Even though I think he's an ass and don't care for him, I care for him. Was that clear?
Well, yeah, let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
He just got thrown a little bit.
We'll try and get him back in the studio for another interview.
How about this? Hey, yeah, my wife's got a great big crush. Well, tell her that's sweet. I appreciate it so much. Wow, you're so pretty. I have a crush on you. Oh, Danny, there, that's good.
And spring training camp came to a repulsive end last night at Dodgers Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
The exhibition finale between the Angels and the Dodgers had to be cut short because of a foul-smelling leak that spilled into the ballpark.
Uh-oh.
Raw sewage into the ballpark.
Is that why they call it foul territory?
Very nicely done right there, Paul.
Nice.
They said it was a water main leak that left a brown mess pooling near the Dodgers dugout in foul territory. Yes, meaning
Paul said
foul
It was
territory. They said it was so disgusting, they had to call the game. Like they could not play. It was so foul.
funny. That's terrible.
And the Seattle Seahawks have released backup quarterback Travoin Boykin in the wake of reports of yet more drama.
Yeah, before I heard about the drama on this guy, I liked him. I remember when he would play, I thought, Boykin guy, he's pretty good.
Right.
He has been arrested numerous times. He has gotten into a lot of trouble. And this time around, there is an accusation he broke his girlfriend's jaw. Now, he is denying it. The police are involved. He is facing charges. They have done a extensive
Preliminary
interviews,
investigation.
investigation already. And the Seahawks said, we are cutting ties
Right.
with Travoin Boykin.
Nice, smart move.
I don't think we have another,
We do
because
not.
I don't think we had a third string quarterback. So,
They have
Tebow!
Austin Davis is listed on the roster.
Oh, that's right. He was there last season for part of
But you can yell Tebow. if you want.
Tebow!
How about Manziel?
Kaepernick!
We need a backup, and we need somebody that's going to be affordable. Don't know who it's going to be.
I would cast my vote. I can't believe for Kaepernick.
yeah, I don't think we
Yeah.
have the,
No,
don't
I
think we have the money
forgave
to pay
him.
him.
I mean, if we looked at ability to play football, I think that's
Yeah.
he's the only one who's proven himself able to do it in the
Right.
NFL.
I hated him, and I hated the whole movement that he started. But then you look at other movements, especially in the African American community. Somebody's got to take a literal and figurative beating to get that done. And he took it. He really, took a big beating on that and stood by his convictions. So I'd be willing to give him a shot. But if he sucks, he's out.
Well, we just have to find out if he's willing to work for very little pay.
$3, I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
Last night, the T-Birds lost to the Everett Silver Tips 3-1, and Everett is currently leading. I thought you liked Everett.
I do, but I don't like the
that?
silver tips.
Yeah.
It's the stupid name.
You
of
like the
team.
city because you wanted to be the mayor.
I still want to be the mayor, and they have, I think, the best kind of grody Chinese restaurant in the world.
Everett is currently leading the best of 7 series 2-1. Friday night is game 4. We
Yeah.
will give you a chance to win tickets later in the show.
Yeah.
These games have been packed and rowdy with everyone going,
That's what they do. Yeah, that's
No,
the
only half of
official
them
chant.
do that. The other half go, yeah.
Saturday, the Sounders will take on the Montreal Impact, 7 o'clock at CenturyLink Field. And of course, this weekend, we do have the Final Four, Loyola versus Michigan at 3 on Saturday, number 1 Kansas versus number 1 Villanova, 6 p.m. Don't go anywhere because Money for Nothing is right around the corner. What is that? Well, every hour, your chance to win $8,000. You're listening for the new keyword. You text that word to 200-200, and you could be $1,000 richer. So don't go anywhere because your next chance is at 7:10.
This traffic report is brought to you by Amtrak. In Seattle, we have about a 20-minute delay on I-5 northbound as you make your way between the Boeing Access Road and Mercer Street. Over in Renton, we have an accident that's partially blocking the exit from southbound 405 to Highway 167. Hurry and save 33% with Amtrak when you book now through March 29th for their lowest prices of the season. Amtrak doesn't believe in traffic, but they do believe in comfort and savings. Book now at Amtrak.com. Restrictions apply. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You hear so much about the real estate market, whether it's from the local publications or if it's from the national ones like Trulia and Redfin. The housing market is hot. And if you're tired of being on the outside looking in, it is time to reach out to American Financing. It is time to stop renting and invest in your future. You know you're going to need a loan, and that's where American Financing comes in. They're known for their custom loan programs and their fast closings. Now, American Financing can save you money. There are no upfront fees, and you know you're going to have all that ready to go before you go even look at a house. So you can call and talk to them right now. You can call 206-204-3200 and talk to a salary-based mortgage consultant at American Financing. They have a great review from the Better Business Bureau. They're a family-owned company, and they're going to help you invest in your future. What are you waiting for? American Financing, 206-204-3200 or AmericanFinancing.net, NMLS 182334.
You know, there is so much going on with our sports teams. Who's hurt, who's being traded, who's going down to the minors. Why don't you be here 7:20 this morning, play a little game called Pick the Flick, and you can win a pair of tickets to see the Mariners home opening weekend at Safeco Field. Dig that, 7:20 right now, 7:03.
I would like to thank you for not wearing any creepy clown outfits today.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to do it.
Yesterday, Danny showed up in a Pennywise shirt that was really frightening. I was surprised how frightening it was because the new Pennywise is much scarier than the old Pennywise. Yet the shirt you were wearing that was Tim Curry was absolutely terrifying yesterday.
I find the Tim Curry Pennywise to be horribly more frightening because mostly my wife finds that thing attractive and therefore something's weird and now it all scares me.
It is a little strange how obsessed Amy has become with Tim Curry.
I got to tell you, I take, usual joy in disagreeing with you. It makes a better show than if we all sat around.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. That's not a great show. I like you're wrong, and then you're wrong. No, you're right. She's creepy and weird. The lengths that she will go for that man. And by the way, he's 71 years old and in a wheelchair. The man is in a Javi. If they're going to run off in the sunset together, he'll be driving. So, yes, my wife's obsession with Tim Curry is downright weird.
Yeah, and a lot of us who are in relationships, our significant other has a strange obsession, and sometimes you say, okay, you're on your own with that one, and other times it's fun to join them.
I think it's fun, to be honest with you.
But the Tim Curry one, I don't see you going to the great lengths to meet him and to watch all of his movies on your own. It's got to be with her.
Oh, it's with her, absolutely. But I drove by this poor bastard's house, and against his will, he's a real private dude. But she figured out where he lived, so we went by his house and waved at it.
Wow, that is really creepy.
Turns out we thought it was a cul-de-sac. It's not. It's a dead end. Then we had to back up in his driveway and hope nobody looked.
Well, what is your significant other's strange obsession, and do you approve or disapprove? Because Amy's going a little over the top with Tim Curry.
By the way, if we run into any problems with our phone calls, if enough people don't call 1-800-252-1025, I think I have about 11 more of that chick's obsessions.
Well, share your significant other's strange obsession now by calling 800-252-1025 or texting 90627.
You know, I don't know that if this conversation stems from my wife's hideous T-shirt she put me in yesterday, or just her love. I mean, unreasonable love. Drive past this. She has a tattoo from
She
the
has
Rocky.
a Tim Curry tattoo?
She has a Rocky Horror Picture tattoo of a line he says, "Don't dream it, be it." That's right on her wrist, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, can I throw in the Beatles? She's just got a Beatles tattoo on her right arm.
Yeah, but that's not a strange obsession.
Oh, yeah. How
Tim
about going
Curry.
to Paul McCartney's outhouse? Is that a strange?
That was weird.
Okay, we stood there together holding hands going, "Oh, smells like Beatles," or whatever we said. I don't really remember. The woman was
probably what you said.
obsessed.
Being obsessed with the Beatles, cool. Being obsessed with Tim Curry, weird. We are asking.
She's at home stewing right now.
We are asking you guys out there, what is your significant other's strange obsession? What is it? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025. Let's talk to Kelly in Seattle.
Oh, yeah, Kelly.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, not much. Just driving to work.
All right, so is it your husband or significant other of some kind that has a strange obsession?
Redheaded midgets.
Am I supposed to take that personally? I'm not sure how I feel. So,
No, he's a fan.
Would you like to explain, Kelly?
yeah, please.
It's been a long-standing joke of ours that if he ever decided to leave me, it would be for a redheaded midget.
A redheaded little person?
Yeah,
So
we
you're
don't
not
say
talking-
midget.
Yeah.
No, they don't say midget. I say midget.
Little
No,
person.
it's your radio station.
We don't say midget. We say little person,
Little person.
not midget.
Is the little person standing right next to a midget?
No, we don't say midget.
So you took this personally as in her husband wanted to leave her for you.
I
but,
think all chicks' husbands want to leave.
but she
them
just
for
means
me.
little people with red hair. That's a bit of a strange obsession.
It is a very strange. But she was telling us where it comes from. Where does that come from?
I have no idea. It's just always been there.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Okay, that's
Now-
that's super weird.
Danny's wife is obsessed with Tim Curry. This is a fact. My husband is, I think it's weird, his obsession with Star Wars.
Yeah, that'll be a harder sell, I think, because of the amounts of people that he has on his side. But I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think that's odd.
It's kind of like the Beatles, but it's when you take it to an extreme.
Yes.
Like, he's not the only person obsessed with Star Wars, but when you take it to that extreme,
Yeah.
Right.
Then
Has
it's
he ever
weird.
been to Mark Hamill's house?
That yeah, I see what you're saying. Then it would be taking it to the next
Right,
level. So
right.
thankfully, no. But my husband is also super obsessed with the band Clutch, and they've got probably 20 albums. Every single solitary song, he can sing every single solitary word,
Oh, wow.
and it's super weird.
And they suck, don't they?
No, they're awesome.
Oh, I must have them confused with. Isn't it one of those bands?
No.
Oh.
Believe it or not, the guy's got a super deep voice. Derek, see if you can find some Clutch. I don't know. Is that something you listen to at all?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
No,
Tori,
I'm
you?
not familiar with it.
Nope.
Yeah, see, it's
it's-
out there, but they tour in Seattle all the time.
All right, let me give my wife a little break, although I have a dozen others. But I'll give you a weird obsession of hers that I don't get. Norway. She's
Norway's a fine
obsessed
place.
with Norway.
And is her family originally from Norway?
No.
Oh, well, that's weird.
No,
then.
it's weird. She speaks the language, or at least she used to. Went and took classes when she was
Yeah.
in college, but not at college. Had to drive to a place and sit in a weird class with other people.
I just
speak
assumed
Norwegian?
that her family came from there.
Nope, and then she had to learn to say "Snakker de Norsk."
Do you speak Norwegian, right?
Well, obviously, I do, Paul.
No,
I
but that's
just
what
did.
she's asking.
Oh, is that what I
Well,
said?
because
Yeah.
it's similar to Paul's language.
Danish, yeah.
The same thing. It's
So
all
yeah,
stupid.
what you said was, do you speak Norwegian?
Right. And do I?
Well, you did there.
Okay, then.
Kind of. Well, you
But
spoke
why does
Norwegian
she
like
do
a
that?
German.
Why
but-
does she? Why has she been there? I mean, I'm actually Italian.
And you have not been there.
No.
Yes, she won't take you. Her
No.
obsession is
Oh
not to
no,
do with
no,
you.
no. She's dying to go with me, but only in summertime because in wintertime in Norway it becomes Stupidville.
It's supposed to be fantastic. I've never been, but I like those countries that you claim they don't exist.
No, they-
Scandinavian countries?
They
Yeah.
don't exist.
Is
Is
this
Norway
Clutch?
an actual country or is that in Holland?
Norway's its own country.
Okay. Where's
is this Clutch,
Amsterdam?
Derek?
This is Clutch, and I lied. Actually, I am familiar with this band. They have a song called Big News 1 and 2, and I love that song.
Ah,
Yeah,
there
so
you
listen
go.
to his voice. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
JJ in
Yeah.
Canyon Park texted into 90627. He says his girlfriend is obsessed with the smell of new books. And she goes around sniffing books.
Huh.
New books, takes them off the shelf, sniffs new books.
Yeah, she should consider taking it a step further and reading one of them. would be cool.
I
But-
wonder if that's actual chemical? Like you get a little bit of a high from the
print, maybe.
That's what he
maybe
says.
something
Is
like
she
that.
does get high off it.
Oh, that's super weird. Does anyone else? We know Tori is obsessed with a lot of weird stuff, but I find her obsession with old men, like your wife, is a bit odd. She loves that show about old men with Henry Winkler,
Right.
and she loves
Captain
William
Kirk.
Shatner, who's like 100.
105.
I like them, but I liked them when they were young. I would
All right.
rather go out with the hot young version of them. There's just not a lot of cool
You
guys
don't
out.
want to have sex with the old guy that smells like musk down there?
Oh God, that sounds awful.
Just hey, I'm just
Well, isn't that
checking.
something for us to look forward to? Tori, is that one of your many strange obsessions? Do you have another one to share with us?
Oh gosh, I was going to talk about an ex. An old boyfriend I had from New Zealand had taken a trip to Australia and became obsessed with didgeridoos to the point where he was literally making them out of PVC pipe and like hanging them on his wall.
That will not actually work to make an actual didgeridoo.
Has
Did you
to be
ever
out of wood,
play as
right?
didgeridoo?
No,
Because you know what they're called when a girl wants to play them? They're called a didgeridoo, and women aren't allowed to touch them.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't touch his didgeridoo.
Her
I would
ex
never.
obsessed with didgeridoos.
Okay, my wife is going on some sort of. She met a bunch of fans online with this Tim Curry thing. She's not the only one. It's a lot of. You'd be surprised how many people are hip to it. So she's got this friend, and they're going to meet up in England and do something Tim Curry-ish. But then she's going to another one. Do you know Mark Boland
Yeah.
from T-Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how he died?
Car accident.
Crashed into a tree. He wasn't even driving. Crashed into a tree. Guess what she's doing?
What?
Gonna go to the tree. Gonna go say hi to the
Oh,
tree.
wow.
Hi,
That's
death tree.
morbid.
Oh, she's a weird girl, my wife. And she steals from Taco Bell.
Paul,
she
is Soliday got something that you would say is her strange obsession?
She's obsessed with film scores, and she's constantly listening to film scores. A lot of instrumental music, but I like listen to some songs with words. But for some reason, film scores in particular. And so she'll be up at night in the other room listening to film scores. I'm going to sleep, and I'm like, why is she in there watching Indiana Jones? But
And she's
it's
not.
not. She's
She's
just
not,
listening
yeah.
to film scores.
One of the best-selling albums of all time is the soundtrack to Star Wars, the
Yeah.
original.
I know people who will listen to the John Williams collection,
Yeah.
and it's Superman and Star Wars. It's so many movies. He might have done.
She listens to
Indiana
all
Jones.
of them. Yeah.
That is super weird, man.
On wax or on CD?
They're digital. It's on just on the computer. She's sitting there doing her schoolwork and listening to film scores.
That is really bizarre.
That is really bizarre.
Derek, have you had a significant other with a strange obsession?
I knew a chick whose whole family had this really weird obsession with family gatherings. They would all wear crazy wigs. The first time I ever met her family was for this big family dinner, and everyone's wearing like a gigantic pink afro. And they're like, hey, Derek, we got one for you, too. And I'm like, no, thanks. See ya. That relationship lasted about 5 minutes.
Wow. You didn't want to wear the pink afro?
No, that's so stupid.
I totally wear the pink
you would.
afro.
But still, at 5 minutes, that's the longest relationship Derek's ever had.
Hey, it's time to play the new game that's sweeping the nation. Pick the flick.
Pick the flick.
You could win tickets to see the Mariners opening weekend at Safeco Field. If you'd like to play and win those tickets, call us right now, 800-252-1025. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers on 102.5 KZOK. We are playing the game that's sweeping the nation called Pick the Flick. This is your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Mariners on opening weekend at Safeco Field. Now, in order to win those tickets, you are going to have to identify the movie from Danny's clue. It's a baseball movie. Get it? If you can do that, you'll be headed to the game Saturday afternoon. Which
They've all been baseball movies.
Yeah.
I didn't even get it.
So the tickets will be for Saturday afternoon, which just happens to be Robinson Cano Bobblehead Day.
Robinson Cano Bobblehead Day.
Our contestant is Scotty in Issaquah.
Oh, yeah, Scotty.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning to you. Scotty, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I sure do.
All right, then. Do you understand the rules of the game?
Yes.
Well, then here we go. All right. This flick fielded an all-star cast, including Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and Madonna, all of whom I love, as well as Rosie O'Donnell, who don't love. It's the tale of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which formed after the majority of major leaguers shipped off to fight the war in World War II. This movie answered the age-old question, is there crying in baseball? Spoiler alert, no, there's no crying in baseball. Can you pick the flick?
Yeah, directed by Penny Marshall, A League of Their Own.
Wow.
Throws in the director.
Bonus.
In baseball? That sounds like that is correct,
No
sir.
crying in
Yeah.
baseball. Scotty, even though the director, amazing.
Yeah.
You are going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to watch the Mariners take on the Indians Saturday, 1:10 at Safeco Field. The rest of you can join us for another round tomorrow at 7:20. Win those tickets. And coming up next, the big news of the day.
This traffic report is brought to you by Phillips Law Firm. On I-5 northbound as you approach Michigan Street, we do have some stop-and-go traffic causing some minor delays. And you're also going to see some delays in Renton on 405 southbound because we have an accident partially blocking the ramp to 167. There's no hiding it. The weather isn't always so great in Seattle. When it rains, traffic gets worse, and that means more traffic accidents. If you've been injured in a car accident, call Phillips Law Firm today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You know, if you aren't getting enough sleep, the chances are you're not sleeping with the right pillow. You know, it makes a real big difference when you like your sheets. You've got a good blanket on there, but if your pillow's not good, then you're not going to sleep well. That is a fact. It's important to get a good night's sleep. So it is important for you to get your hands on a MyPillow. Put your head on a MyPillow and you will be so happy you did. I've been sleeping on a MyPillow for years now and I will never, ever change. They have a money-back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose by ordering one right now at 800-304-4756. If you use my promo code KZOK, it'll get you 50% off the 4-pack special. 2 classic MyPillow, 2 Go Anywhere MyPillow, 50% off with that promo code KZOK. Call them at 800-304-4756. You can also go to their website, mypillow.com. Now, MyPillow is made in America. It is machine washable, 10-year warranty, and that money-back guarantee. So do it now. mypillow.com and use promo code KZOK to get 50% off.
Hey Google, what's the weather?
Right now in Seattle, it's 45 and cloudy. Today, it'll be cloudy, with a forecasted high of 52 and a low of 41.
Thanks, Google. It'll be mostly cloudy tonight as well, and tomorrow. You can expect some light rain and wind with highs in the mid to upper 50s. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Man, it's big and it's coming your way. The big news of the day.
Well, some of the stories we'll be talking about a new way to buy cars is out there, and it's going to blow your mind. Walmart has decided to stop selling something which is very controversial, and some big changes to football, the way they play the game next season for the whole league. This is a story you'll need to hear.
And the big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or if you don't have a phone, you could go online to goldbergjones.com.
Well, you can buy just about anything online these days, and there is still something about going to a store and making your purchase.
I'm a fan.
Well, Alibaba is the Amazon of Asia.
Right.
Yeah.
They have gotten together with Ford and officially built the car vending machine.
Really?
It is available now, and you put your money in, and then poof, it goes down the chute.
You just feed it dollar bills. Like every third one gets spit back out because it's too wrinkled. You're standing there all day.
Isn't
Yeah.
it just one of those multi-level parking structures
Yep.
that goes up in the air and comes back down in the air?
Yep.
But all the cars are in a slot, and when you select that car, it pulls it out of the slot and brings it to you.
Well, it's got to bring the slot down. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen one of these things? They're neat looking. They're all over
Yeah.
New York City, and you can even get them for your own driveway or your own garage, so you can park one car on top of the other.
Oh, yeah.
So that's got to be what it is.
They said this is a specific center that has the capacity for 42 cars, and all you need to do is pay the necessary fees. And it's a vending machine that will give you one of 10 models. You can have a Mustang.
Oh, if they had a vending machine for models, how would that be?
I mean,
take
hopefully
that
they're
one-
pumping some air in
I'll
there so
take-
they can breathe.
I'll take that one with the wings.
Now, they said when it comes to the car vending machine, it is limited time only, available now through April 23rd. I'm just trying it out, seeing how it goes. Car vending machine.
You don't get the right car, you're shaking the machine, trying to get it to drop.
That's right.
Walmart made a pretty controversial announcement yesterday. They will stop selling Cosmopolitan magazine from its checkout lines.
Yeah, I don't think I agree. What do they say their motives are?
A stand against sexual exploitation. Now, some of the magazine covers of Cosmo.
So all these chicks are out of a job now.
It's a lot of Hollywood stars. It's not even models for the most part on Cosmo. It's famous people. But they are
So they
scantily
still have a
clad.
job being famous and rich.
Yeah, okay.
Being famous and British?
And rich.
Oh, rich, yeah.
I mean, some of them might
They
also
might
be British.
Yeah.
Crikey's, I'm pretty.
Or
I-
Australian.
Right.
I haven't seen who is on this month's cover. Derek could probably look it up. But the last few Cosmos I've seen are all just regular, famous, like the
Hot people
Hot
showing
people.
way too much booby.
Lena Dunham was on the cover of Cosmo.
Any booby she shows is too much booby.
But they said that this is in demand. They said people were tired of seeing scantily clad women at the checkout line, especially at Walmart where it's a lot of kids.
Right? And
They
it's
said-
at eye level for juniors.
Men, women, and children are bombarded daily with sexually objectifying and explicit materials, not only online, but in the checkout store. So Walmart is using their platform to take a stand against sexual exploitation, removing Cosmopolitan magazine from each and every checkout aisle.
Well, in a way, I agree. I wouldn't have said anything for just fear of terrible retribution, but remember when everybody wore black for the Me Too thing? Where was that? The Grammys, the Tonys, the Golden Globes?
It was the one before the Academy Awards.
All right, so I just
which
call it the
award
Golden
ceremony.
Globes to move on
Might
with
have
this. But so they're saying Me Too, sexual exploitation, and then they're wearing dresses that are open down to their navels. Well, you can't even look at them for fear of making eye contact, or not even eye contact, boob contact,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So I guess it's okay. I don't know that I like people's morality inflicted upon me.
Right, but the point was that the award ceremony wasn't exploitation. It was saying that they were being assaulted or they were being taken advantage of in a sexual fashion.
One girl actually showed her what's-its.
That woman is shouldn't even be in the conversation. She's
But
gross.
she was in the conversation. She was not only there, she was also at the Academy Awards, also showing her
Right,
what's-its.
but Jennifer Lawrence, who said she was just naked in a movie, that doesn't mean she should be sexually assaulted. That if you choose nudity in a movie role, that's not the same as somebody like Harvey Weinstein
assault
telling you
you.
to get on the casting couch.
I don't know what kind of. I mean, I don't know who you know, but who considers being a sexy woman with assault? Assault's assault. It has nothing to do
Right.
with your pretty, ugly dressed or
Right,
whatever
but
it is.
you should be able to go take a stand against women being assaulted in Hollywood, the Me Too movement, and wear a deep cut dress. The two should not be correlated.
I don't know that I completely agree with you. I agree with you on the deep cut dress, but I thought some of the women there were doing diametrically opposed to the stance they were trying to take. And I'll go back to the woman that actually did a twirl and a split skirt and was wearing no underwear.
But
She
Danny,
brought. I thought she brought shame on the movement. I thought she set the movement backwards.
She did. She also wasn't taking part in the movement. She wore a red dress and specifically was not taking part in the Me Too movement.
She did wear a red dress. Anyway, I just don't want anybody direct. I think take it off the front shelves at Walmart or wherever it is fine with me. But if they take it out of the magazine racks as well, I think they're forcing their morality on people. And I don't care for it.
Scientists now have the dirt on the rubber ducky. Those cute yellow bath time toys are a haven for nasty bugs.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Yeah, they're gross.
Swiss and American researchers counted the microbes swimming inside and outside of the toys, and they said they are gross. Now, most of the rubber duckies, when you squeeze them, make that sound.
Yeah.
And that's
They're
because
screaming for help.
that's because it's got that little hole.
Yeah.
Air and water goes in that you can squeeze the water out.
And the water stays in there. You can never get that water all the way out.
No, you cannot. What you can do is squeeze it as hard as you can underwater.
Yeah.
Let go of it. It'll suck up a whole bunch. And then you can take that to your son, daughter, friend, lover, whatever, and go, and squirt them with filth water, which is always fun.
And that's what's happening. They said it's actually pretty gross. Now, you do want your kids exposed to some bacteria because it helps them get a stronger immune system. But
so a little bit of black mold is good.
Yeah.
Not a lot of black mold,
And
just a little.
tad of peanuts.
Yeah.
Go for those. And by the way, that's real science.
Yeah.
Start now giving your kid a little peanut when they're born.
They say combine them both and make a sandwich. Black mold and
Exactly.
peanut butter sandwich.
And also making big news, a new iPad was announced yesterday. A 9.7-inch iPad will be available starting now, and it will support the Apple Pencil. Now, this is a new one that will only be about $329 for a 32 gig and a $459 model with 32 gigs and Wi-Fi.
Did I miss the setup? Did you say pencil?
There is an an Apple Pencil. You can write.
But what you're
with it.
buying is an iPad.
Oh, okay.
It comes with an Apple Pencil or works with an Apple Pencil that you can write on the screen.
Thank you.
So that is available now, the iPad, and it will support the Apple Pencil. So if you have one of those that you like to use with your device, it is compatible. And another big announcement yesterday, the NFL owners unanimously approved a new catch rule. This is a change designed to specifically avoid a handful of controversies that have vexed the league for almost a decade.
The butt catch?
No, not the butt catch.
How about the helmet catch?
Those were catches. Those were deemed catches. It's the ones where they caught the ball and then it moved around a little bit and they said
and they
no
lose
catch.
the ball, right?
No, I don't think.
Yes. Well, they could have kept a hold of it,
Yeah.
but it was moving. Therefore, they said, oh, you did not maintain control.
Yeah, you didn't maintain control. I think a couple of times that's stupid.
Well, they have decided to get rid of it because
good.
it was too hard to keep it uniform. Like sometimes it would be a catch, other times it wouldn't be a catch. So they said, you know what? This is a 3-step process. Receiver must control the ball, establish himself in bounds, and perform a football move like taking a third step, and then it's a catch.
Right.
It can
Because
keep
that thing
moving.
where they'd catch the ball.
Yeah.
And then it'd fumble around. That ball threw in there at like 80 miles an hour. There's giant men chasing you. That's bound to fumble a little bit. So if you catch it, you have it, you get to the ground, and you still have it, that's a catch. And it turns out the NFL has finally started thinking and listening to the Bonadouche.
Yeah, this was your idea from the get-go?
Totally. I even called them.
They've also said you cannot lead with your head to hit somebody. That
Now that they're going to eject people for that now,
they
right?
will potentially eject people that you cannot lead with your head because they have seen an enormous rise in concussions and would like to stop
So
that.
that means some other guy's bending down, and you've got to run into him with your chest.
As opposed to going head to head or taking...
Which is a natural instinct, if you ask me.
Sure. Yeah,
Isn't
and
that-
that's why it's had so many injuries because that's how most people do it. You know,
Well,
you
the guy that's
go to
going
hit
to
a guy,
get
you lean
injured
down.
now is the guy that doesn't dip his head down when the guy he's hitting all the way he has his head down. That everybody, you're in jeopardy all the time. It's a football game. You're all gladiators.
Right.
Shut up.
What they say you're supposed to do is use your shoulder. So you're still going to bend down,
Right.
but use your shoulder
But what
to hit
about
somebody.
that guy?
What
The
do you
guy
mean?
you're hitting. What's he doing? He's
You
trying
don't-
to get to the ground.
You don't control what he's doing.
Right. So
Why is he
he's
trying to get to the ground?
Because you're about to hit him and he doesn't want to get real hurt. So he's going to try and cover up. So it's all bad news, I say.
Yeah.
That's the big news of the day. It's brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online at goldbergjones.com.
Hey, coming up, you're going to love this. It's Jelly Bean's Joke of the Week.
And now, Jelly Bean's Joke of the Week.
Hey there, Uncle Danny.
Hey, kiddo.
I got a really funny joke. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Why aren't koalas actual bears?
I don't know, sweetheart. Why aren't koalas actual bears?
Because they don't meet the koalifications.
Oh my gosh.
Koalifications. Woo! I'm so funny.
I know, qualifications. I didn't even think of it.
This traffic report is brought to you by the UPS store in Marysville on Highway 9. We have an accident as you approach 84th Street, causing some minor delays. And on Highway 527 southbound, as you approach the interchange to 405, there's an earlier accident there that has been cleared, but you're still seeing about a 10-minute delay. With the UPS store shredding services powered by Iron Mountain, you can have confidence knowing your private information is staying private. Shred with them today at the UPS store. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Listen, it is 8:02, and if you've been listening to the show over the years, you probably know that I make a policy of not throwing out just random apologies. It weakens the show. Nobody knows what to believe, and nobody knows why I would say such a thing where I need to offer an apology. But this moment has arisen. Why? Because Paul's an idiot. That's why.
It's okay if it's me?
Yeah, it's okay if it's you.
The
It's twice
text
as good
line's
if it's
going
you.
crazy.
So here's the deal on this. Something about black mold came up, and
Rubber duckies.
and rubber duckies. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Paul, you said you should take a little bit of a black mold and make it into a sandwich and give it to your children.
Yeah, doctors say that a little bit of mold is good, helps build up your immunity. And you said the same thing with peanuts.
I said you should be giving your, I have a little more medical ground to stand on here.
Right.
But then I said you should take a little bit of peanuts and give it to your kids starting at birth so they don't become peanut allergy. And then Paul just went crazy with the medical advice. And it turns out you, sir, are not a doctor.
I am not a doctor, so I do want to apologize and clarify that the peanut butter and black mold sandwich is not something that is recommended for children. The text line at 90627 is blowing up. People are, do I really pack little Jimmy a peanut butter and mold sandwich today?
Is it Wonder Bread? It's a wonder the kid doesn't die. That's all good now. Dr. Paul has gone back on his word and said, I am sorry, and I am also sorry that Paul exists.
Yeah, we'll now stop calling him Dr. Paul, refer to him as Paul the Butcher, which is really what he is.
Yeah, so I guess I was trying to kill your kids. I'm sorry about that as well.
I guess Paul's sorry about that too. Me, I'm relatively sorry about something.
Paul is
my
not a
wife
doctor.
stole from Taco Bell. I'm ashamed.
Yeah,
Man,
you should.
I'm sorry.
Well, all over the news, Russia. Russia has been all over the news. North Korea, all over the news.
Yeah.
And it does seem to be like North Korea is a terrible place to go.
Yes, it does.
And some people say Russia is potentially a terrible place to go because there's so much political upheaval between us and them.
Plus, I have never seen one single shot of Russia. You know, they got those cool things. What are those called? The Kremlin. They got the cool Kremlin-looking thing. But everybody's always constantly bundled up. Summer is freezing.
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, and I don't think that's true. I think summertime, it's in the 70s and 80s and beautiful.
Nope. They're all wearing burqas.
But you, no, not burkas, but
Paul's not a
bushkas.
doctor. He said burqa.
But there are places that you get this like idea in your head. Like as far as we're concerned, in Russia, everybody's wearing a babushka.
Yeah.
But we've also decided that the show is taking a trip to Kazakhstan because it's
Looks
supposed
bitchin'.
to be awesome.
It
looks
totally
awesome.
cool.
We've totally got our mind set about a place, despite the fact none of us have ever been there.
No, certainly. But you don't have to go there first to get an opinion.
Yo, what? We have a huge opinion about Russia and North Korea.
Right, but you don't have to go there, and because going there doesn't also give you a decent opinion. Paul has been to the Grand Canyon. What's your opinion?
Meh.
See, he's crazy.
It's a big hole in the ground.
Well, let me ask the question. What place do you think would be awesome or awful to visit, even though you've never been there? You just have this preconceived notion about these places. What do you think?
I'll take, I want to go to, never seen them, just pictures on TV, Monument Valley, especially Zion National Park.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Totally want to go there.
Beautiful.
That seems
Yeah.
great. And I don't think I'm going to be totally disappointed when I get there. I think it looks like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys listening, what place do you think would be awesome or awful to visit, even though you've never been there? Preconceived notions. Let us know by calling 800-252-1025 or text 90627.
You know, we've all been talking about where we like to go and where we wouldn't like to go. We picked out Kazakhstan because we saw one nice-looking picture and the really great fighter comes from there. There's a very good chance it's terrible. Russia seems terrible all year long. So here's the question. Where would you like to go? And you've got very little information on why. Where would you like to go? Where would you hate to go? 1-800-252-1025.
We seem to get these notions in our head about a place being awesome or awful.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ken in Seattle?
Hey,
Good
Ken.
morning,
Morning.
people.
What do you mean, you people?
Hey, yeah, I always wanted to go to San Francisco. You know, it'd been really cool to go there, check out Fisherman's Wharf, go to Alcatraz. And then my wife and I went a couple summers ago, and it was like Paul said about the Grand Canyon. Yeah.
Meh.
It's just a city.
See, I would disagree. I think it's a gorgeous city. I think it's a remarkable city. The cable cars is just as cute as ever. Ghirardelli chocolate's as yummy as ever. Alcatraz, a little bit weird. But the thing, my problem with it now is it's filthy, and it's the super rich walking out of a modest little house that cost them $4 million into a bunch of people saying, hey, please give me money for food. It's such a dichotomy. I don't care for it anymore.
Yeah.
Let's talk to KZOK in Sumner.
Hey, KZOK, what's up?
Good morning, KZOK.
Morning.
Hey, so I told you guys earlier this year that I'm moving to Thailand to go to scuba diving school.
Right.
But a place I want to go is a little country called Palau.
Yeah.
In the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But they've got some of the best dive spots in the world, I hear. And they have this place called Jellyfish Lake where you go swimming with jellyfish. They have no stingers. So you can just go play with these things. There's like thousands of them.
I've seen pictures of it, and it looks mental.
I have seen pictures of Palau, and the weirdest thing is I was in them. It's part of the forgotten trip where I've been places and shamefully drank so much I remember none of it. But
so
the pictures
crazy.
are adorable. I look great. Palau looks great. It's all looks great. So I highly recommend that you go there.
What place do you think would be awesome or awful to visit, even though you've never been there? You get these preconceived notions. What do you think, Kale in Seattle?
Hi, Kale.
Hey, Mr. Bonaducci and Miss Sarah. How you doing?
Hi.
We're all good. What's up?
10-4. I got 2 words for you.
Yep.
Death Valley.
Now, it does, in fact, have the word death
Yes.
in the title, which can throw you. But at certain times a year, I've heard it is spectacular, and there's a lot of interesting stuff to do out in Death Valley. Well, not a lot. Let me rephrase. But there are these small little encampments that seem really neat to be. A lot of hippies that didn't grow up, and they're now 75 years old.
Yeah.
Everybody's living in weird tents. Isn't Burning Man out in Death Valley?
Yes, that's
somewhere.
in Nevada.
Is it? Yeah, it's somewhere.
Yeah,
it's in the desert.
But yeah, it might as well be
Yeah.
same place. But there's things to be said for it. Having said that, I'm going to go with Kale on this. The Death Valley sucks.
It sounds awful.
Want to know something else that sucks? Kale. Not you, buddy.
Not
You're
you.
awesome, and I love you. But the vegetable that stole your name, terrible thing.
A place that would be awesome or awful to visit. That's what we are asking.
Several texted into 90627 saying Florida, clearly awful because Florida.
Florida.
And I think listening to this show, they've been given even a worse impression
Yep.
of
Yeah,
Florida.
it's Florida.
All we do is report the news. We're not making it up.
No, we're not.
Burning Man is in Black Rock Desert, Nevada, and the burners call it La Playa.
La Playa.
Yes.
Yeah.
A place that I think would be awful to visit, even though I've never been there, Disney.
Really?
Screaming children everywhere and rides that are going to make me want to kill myself because I'll be so sick.
Yep, you're right. You should not go there.
I will not. Tim in Bellevue, good morning.
Hiya, Tim.
Good morning. Hey, I would always wanted to go to the continent of Antarctica to go and visit the penguins. And I think Tori would like it down there also because all the animals are already in the freezer.
I don't know how much of that conversation was real or how much was a setup just to do that joke, but either way, it was worth it, man. That was awesome.
I have a lifelong dream of going to Antarctica. And I have no idea what it's actually going to be like when I get there, but I built it up in my mind that it's just going to be penguins everywhere. And I'm going to see wildlife everywhere.
She doesn't want to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
She wants to go to Antarctica.
Yep.
Antarctica sucks. I'm sure of it.
No.
Yeah, for sure it sucks.
No, for
covered in
sure it
penguins.
sucks. It's not covered in penguins.
Yeah.
It's covered in penguin poop.
No, don't ruin it.
You
for
can
me
see
and
the
Tim.
penguin poop from space. I just
That's-
watched the thing. on it.
Yeah, that's just one little part
Not a little part.
that
I've seen it
no
from
humans
space.
have been to.
I don't know. Anyway, it sucks.
Well, the penguins have been there and they left
Yeah.
a mess.
Russell in Seattle, a place you think would be awesome or awful to visit, even though you've never been?
Oh, hey, Danny, Sarah.
Hey.
Paul. I'm
Hey.
here for my 5 minutes of fame or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, anyways,
30 seconds, man.
I've got a nephew that's a supervisor over in Walla Walla, the state prison. He works his way up through the ranks, and he said anytime I want to visit, he'll give me the grand tour of the I think it's a federal penitentiary.
Penitentiary. Yeah. You know what? I've actually visited some jails, and it's not that great, my friend. And by the way, I think I know your nephew, and he's an ass. Now, you know what? They're fascinating places. I've never actually really been to. I've been to the holding tank once or twice. Said I was sorry, and they let me go. I think that'd be kind of interesting. And if I'm wrong, then why are there so many shows that start with the words "locked up blank"?
Yeah,
and they're locked up everywhere.
Well, Russell, Walla Walla is a wonderful place to visit. Just go in the summertime and not the winter.
Why?
It snows.
A number of texters at 90627 talking about Australia. They all want to go there because it's beautiful and because they have those koala bears. The koala
They're not bears, Paul.
that
Do you know
aren't
why?
bears because they don't meet the qualifications.
Qualifications.
Jellybean tells a good joke.
She does.
Justin calling from Bremerton, a place that would be awesome or awful to visit, even though you've never been.
All right, Justin, what up?
Good morning, people.
Morning.
As a lifelong Philadelphia Eagles fan, I don't think I could stomach going to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium. I think I would not get along with anybody there.
I think that's a wise assessment.
Well, can't you go when it's empty?
What's the point?
I
You
don't
wanna
think
go to a game?
the love is lost already.
I don't know because isn't there some fantasy about going to all the arenas? Oh, there has to be a game going when you go.
Well,
to
if
all
he's
this?
an Eagles fan, why would he go to Cowboy Stadium? You'd only go to see your team play.
Okay.
And he
Because
hates
I hear
the Cowboys so much.
I hear AT&T Stadium is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't care either way about the Cowboys, but I heard that stadium's outlandish.
What about you, Lisa calling from Seattle?
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah. Hi. I would like to visit Greenland.
Why?
I have talked to people from there, and it seems like a wonderful place, and it's totally green.
No.
That's the opposite.
No. I think Lisa's pulling our chains. Are you pulling our chains, Lisa?
Well, from North Seattle, yeah, maybe I am.
Well, Lisa, let me tell you, I have been to Greenland. It is in my top 5 of favorite vacations ever. But it is not green. It is completely covered in icebergs.
It's because those wacky Vikings thought they'd throw everybody before, and they did a great job before there were powered vessels and satellites and things. They said, I know, let's call the crappy place Greenland and the awesome place Iceland. No one will figure it out. And they didn't for a couple of 100 years.
Believe it or not, food was tremendous in Greenland.
Really?
Really, really great seafood.
I mean, it's cool to go there and like meet the people. It's interesting because they're all related to each other.
What about Dave in Federal Way?
Hey, Dave in Federal Way.
Half a day from Guelph, guys.
Hey, what's up there, Dave?
Hey, I want to go to Brazil because jiu-jitsu is there. That's a good place to go. And then I don't want to go to the North Pole because it's too cold.
What do they call Brazilian jiu-jitsu in Brazil?
Jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with him on the North Pole.
No. Although I think that the Antarctic, where you want to go, sucks way more than the North Pole.
I'm prepared for it to be cold. I know that's why you won't go. But to me, the North Pole is nothing in it. Antarctica's covered in penguins. I don't know. That's why we're talking about this. Is these ideas you get in your head, whether they're crazy or not.
They're crazy because you couldn't have that one more backwards. There's people on snowmobiles living near the North Pole.
That's just researchers.
No.
You think there's Inuits?
No, I think there's people.
I think there's just scientists there at the North Pole. Anywhere near the North Pole.
Have you ever seen the show Life Below Zero?
No.
Oh, the whole thing is how far they are from the North Pole. 300 miles, 200 miles, 180 miles.
No.
People live there.
Wow.
Run encampments.
Let's talk to James in Bothell.
Hi, James in Bothell.
Yeah, well, I want to keep this local. I've never been there, but the log boom on the Seafair, the hydroplane races.
See, I'm the opposite, man. That to me looks like the worst place to ever go. It's just covered in boats. You can walk from boat to boat during Seafair and just party.
Yeah, I must admit I've never been there either. I was assaulted by a pirate or two on the streets of Seattle. I thought, well, that was super weird.
Paul, what do you think would be awesome or awful?
The coastline along the Gulf of Aden in the Arabian Sea just looks gorgeous. Turquoise water, white sand beaches. there's no tourists anywhere around because you're in Somalia, and there's the little pirate problem.
You know, I can give you white sand beaches with turquoise water in 1,000 places that aren't Somalia.
But I mean, can you give me like seclusion? Like, and that's the thing is, it looks gorgeous, and there's no one else vacationing there because
sounds awesome.
You'll get abducted.
In Jamaica, there's a place called 7 Mile Beach.
Yeah.
And everybody flips out about 7 Mile Beach because it's 7 miles uninterrupted beach. Then go to Australia to a little town called Noosa, and their beach, 1,500 miles uninterrupted. You can have it all to yourself all day long.
Well, but you can go to Somalia, Paul.
Yes, you
don't
can.
dash his dreams.
No,
Danny. Tell him to go to
I'm not
Jamaica.
going there. I'm saying it seemed awesome, but now it sounds awful.
It does. It is awful. There's a show on right now. It's called Somali Pirates, and it's about this reporter that gets embedded with them, and everybody seems mad at everything.
Yeah. One other text into 90627. I don't want to go to Haiti because our president told me it's an S-hole country.
Oh.
Well, I think the president was mean and correct. It's a terrible place. 90% of the
now.
population is HIV positive.
Tori, what place do you think would be awesome or awful to visit?
A place that's awesome and awful, I would go to the Chelsea Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just sits there in New York City. The door's open. You can go in anytime you want.
She needs to get in the room you went to, though, the murder room.
It's not there anymore. I don't think.
Oh, poor Tori.
Yeah, and they painted over my bloody handprints that I left there because I
Gee,
thought
I
that
wonder
was
why.
funny.
Derek, a place you think will be awesome or awful to visit?
I've never been, but it would be so awesome to go to Los Angeles to the Hollywood Walk of Fame and visit Danny Bonaducci's stop. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's not there, is it?
Dude.
Oh, my bad.
I was in the middle of applauding. I had the adoption procedures in full effect when
I'm
that
sorry.
happened. My God.
Well, we need to regroup after that
Yeah.
sick burn. We'll be back with the news.
This traffic report is brought to you by Aer Lingus. On the I-5 Express lane southbound as you approach 85th Street, there's an accident currently blocking the 2 left lanes. And over on I-5 northbound, we're seeing some heavy traffic as you make your way between the Boeing Access Road and Lakeview Boulevard, about a 25-minute delay. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.airlingus.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You know, you've heard me talk about My Pillow for a while now. Why haven't you gotten one yet? Are you a little nervous that maybe you're not going to like it? Are you thinking you're not sure if My Pillow is for me? Well, here's the good news. You can get yourself a My Pillow right now, and if you don't like it, get your money back. That's right. They offer a money back guarantee. They also give you a 10-year warranty with My Pillow. So if you sleep on it for a while and something goes wrong, they'll replace it for you. But nothing's going to go wrong. Everything is going to go right. In fact, you're going to get a great night's sleep. This is a product that's made in America. It is machine washable, and it will change the way you sleep. You will sleep better. They guarantee it. Right now, you can take advantage of the 4-pack special. 2 classic My Pillow, 2 go anywhere My Pillow. All, and you can get 50% off if you use my promo code KZOK. The number to call, 800-304-4756, 800-304-4756. Don't forget that promo code KZOK. The website, mypillow.com, mypillow.com, and to get 50% off, use my promo code KZOK.
Hey Google, what's the weather?
Currently in Seattle, it's 45 and cloudy. Today, it'll be cloudy, with a forecasted high of 53 and a low of 42.
Thanks, Google. It'll be mostly cloudy tonight as well, and tomorrow you can expect some light rain with variable winds. We're going to see temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
A woman has died while trying to escape from a home engulfed in flames in Sedro-Woolley overnight. Firefighters responded to the home on Sterling Street just after 1 a.m. to extinguish the blaze that they said was humongous. The woman was sadly found dead at the scene. Fire crews were able to arrive quickly, but flames had spread fast and furiously. The fire appears to have started in the kitchen of the home, but they do not have a specific cause yet. And a beaver is causing a stir to Bremerton's primary source of drinking water. Earlier this month, public works officials began to see a spike in turbidity and decreased water clarity.
A spike in turbidity?
Correct.
I don't know what that is. I'd know what it was if it was turbidity, but that's the beaver doing its business in the water supply, right?
Is that what you're going
turbidity?
to Sure, absolutely, Paul.
What is turbidity with
what does your text thing say about the little beaver pooping in the water?
That'll catch up to us, I'm sure.
Sure.
So decreased water clarity means
so
water
exactly what I was saying,
is not circulating properly, and this was noticed at the Casad Dam. And that's where...
Damn, that beaver's doing that.
60% of the water in Bremerton comes from that area. And they said, well, decrease or a spike in turbidity means a beaver.
Well, if you've got spike in your turbidity, then...
bound to be filthy. Just the stuff that's in that beer.
Right.
Well, they said source control is paramount. You're wondering what that means, I'm sure.
Sure.
It means they should have more than one source for the entire city of Bremerton.
No, it means the beavers gotta go.
Oh, I didn't catch that at all.
Now,
that would be my last answer, really.
Source control is paramount?
Running the beavers out of town.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with the poor little beavers?
We love the beaver on this show.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a cute little beaver. It's a little guy, and they believe it was probably abandoned by his parents. Said, you gotta fend for yourself.
It was little, Paul.
It was a cute little guy.
A little beaver.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
Now, they found somebody to trap the animal. The city of Bremerton says they got bids from 12 trappers, and the cost to retain a beaver, $60,000.
I'll catch it for half that.
Yeah, $60,000 per beaver?
Me and Lenny will head right out there right now.
Because fishing is just like catching a beaver.
Totally the same. And even if it wasn't, have you ever spoken to Lenny? He can figure it out in 5 minutes. He'd say, I got one in a box, and it would be a beaver.
Like, is that to care for the beaver for the rest of its life?
The way it works for trappers is that you need to be on retainer for a year, and that's their fee for the year is $60,000. Because that beaver or another beaver could go back, so they don't just do a one-time deal.
Not if we eat it.
We are all in the wrong business. One client pays you $60,000. We need to be beaver trappers.
Plus, you do.
Beaver
Plus,
hunters.
The second nobody's looking, throw it in a stew.
Yeah. That beaver's not getting back.
That's not going back in the water.
Well, there's a guy named Chad Huntelman who said he would do it.
Yeah.
So he put traps out. He has no experience. And he wasn't getting paid $60,000. But he eventually trapped the beaver. And they've taken it to a creek in Mason County that was missing its beaver. They knew the beaver was missing.
Yeah.
And they replaced it with this little guy, so he's been moved.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Well, we have a beaver, and we're going to get ready to post some pictures online. What are people going to win for looking at pictures of our beaver?
They're going to win a copy of the latest Star Wars film, The Last Jedi. Digital download of that, so they can have it on their device and watch it wherever they want.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Can I win? I haven't seen that yet. Scientists in Australia have discovered the remains of a mummy in a 2,500-year-old coffin that had previously been classified as empty. They said, there's nothing in here. We'll just put
They didn't think to X-ray it. They just said it.
It's one of those situations. It seems like somebody said, "Oh yeah, there's nothing in there," so they put it over in the corner and they just took them at their word. Well, finally they said, "Well, let's take another look at that one." Oh yeah, let's get that X-ray machine. Oh yeah, look at all those bones. There's actually a person in there.
In a coffin.
In the sarcophagus. So we're
2,500 years old. I didn't know anything happened there. They have the Aborigines, but I don't believe they buried their dead in any kind of coffin.
Well, this is from Egypt, but you know how people went into Egypt and ransacked it? How we've got sarcophagi in
Why
museums.
did I think you said Australia?
Australia?
Scientists in Australia have discovered the remains of a mummy inside a museum, inside a sarcophagus that they had.
So somebody took it and put it in a museum in Australia.
It's very rare these days to find a sarcophagus in Egypt because people went in and ransacked them and put them all over the world. So these dudes and ladies in Australia were like, oh yeah, there's nothing in there. Becky's coffin's totally empty. Maybe we should have another look at Becky's coffin.
That's one of the typical ancient Egyptian names, Becky.
That's right. Now, they do believe that this is a woman named Mer Neith It Is, who was either a priestess or a worshiper. Are you
speaking in whole words?
Mer Neith It Es.
Yeah, let's stick with Becky.
Yeah, I like
Becky was either a priestess or a worshiper, and they found her body.
Well, isn't everybody a priest or a worshiper?
No, you could be a pagan. Couldn't you be a non-believer?
It could be.
Not if you wanted to live right, out there in the outback where they're finding these things.
Thou shalt not steal.
Yeah.
Even I know that one. It's one of the 10 commandments that a religious thief ignored as he broke into a clothing store. He threw a brick through the glass window. And then before stepping in and committing the crime, like right before he threw the brick in, he did the cross symbol over himself as like a prayer.
Oh.
Right.
Threw the brick, went in, stole everything, and fled. So they are now looking for a religious burglar. So he did not obey one of the 10 commandments.
No, he most certainly did not. But he had the decency to genuflect first.
Exactly. Genuflect. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Well, we've got Easter coming up this weekend.
We do.
And believe it or not, we need to talk about bunnies. You may recall the Dairy Council had to issue some sort of decree to people like Derek who were mistaken about where chocolate milk comes from. Derek, do you remember you told us where you thought chocolate milk came from?
Yeah, straight from the brown cow.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
No,
he's not alone in that belief.
It's because of the expression, how now, brown cow.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what gets that going.
And then I milked a brown cow, and I was sorely disappointed.
Especially when you found out it was a bull.
The National Dairy Council last year found a depressing number of Americans thought like Derek, that chocolate milk came from brown cows. Now, experts are saying we need to talk about rabbits. They do not lay eggs.
Oh, gosh.
Rabbits don't lay eggs.
No.
Everything's a sham. Everything I believe in.
Not even on Easter.
According to Google, the phrases, do bunnies lay eggs? Do rabbits lay eggs? Have received about 1,000 and 10,000 average monthly searches.
Okay, now here, Paul, you're saying that bunnies don't lay eggs even on Easter, like people are crazy.
Correct, yeah.
What does happen on Easter, theoretically, historically?
A bunny comes around and puts eggs out that were laid by chickens.
A dead guy gets up and walks around and says, yo, it's
that
me.
too.
Sup? How far of a leap to bunnies laying eggs is that?
You were going even more traditional Easter.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the idea of the bunnies laying eggs is from a pagan celebration of spring. And then they eventually linked that to the religious side of the holiday. And for some reason, it has existed since then that people think bunnies lay eggs.
Now, first thing I would do if I had a bunny that laid eggs is I would taste the eggs, see if they were any good, and then I would kill and eat the bunny. That's what I think we should do more of. Do you have bunnies?
We have bunnies, yeah.
Let's
you
kill
want to
them and eat them, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Right.
I'll bring you one. You can kill and eat it. They're mean, though.
Well, that's why I'm going to kill it.
Yeah. I'm going to bring it in a cage, and then it's up to you after that.
Fine.
I'm actually the only person ever in the history of ever that can't get bunnies to breed. You know, they say they breed like
bunnies,
rabbits.
yeah.
Yeah, no, for whatever we tried to breed them, and they don't want anything to do with it.
I can name 5 places, including Australia, where they'll pay you money to kill a rabbit because they brought 2 over thinking this will be nice. And then the rabbits did what rabbits do.
Yeah.
Laid eggs.
Turns out that rabbits
Right.
are placental mammals. They have embryos inside a uterus, a pregnancy that lasts a month. They give birth to a litter of often 12 or more bunnies.
Not mine, they don't.
Yeah, you're doing something wrong over there.
So if they're pregnant, they have 10 babies. If I'm pregnant, the rabbit dies.
Yes.
All right, good to know.
Terrible story out of Florida.
Okay.
The Broward Sheriff's deputies have arrested 2 people they say were stealing items from a memorial outside of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Now, this is the high school where there was that terrible shooting last month. And they arrested 2 people, a 37 and a 40-year-old, charged with 1 count of disfiguring a tomb or monument, which is a felony. They jumped over a fence where they then stole teddy bears, plaques, and pinwheels from the memorial. Now, they're saying, yeah, that's not a tomb or a monument, and they are not getting those charges dropped. That's a bad person.
Well, who's saying it's not a tomb or a monument?
The 2 people have retained a lawyer who said, yeah, that's not a tomb or a monument.
Dude, take your beating. It is
Exactly.
obviously it's a monument of some kind. You're thinking they have to be made of granite. Of course it's a monument.
Yep. A woman in Billings, Montana. She decided to chug a half a bottle of whiskey.
Sure.
Whiskey's delightful. I understand that. But then she got behind the wheel and drove to a marijuana store, discovered it was closed, and was so mad she tried to break in using a sledgehammer.
Which she just happened to have on her?
It's Montana, Danny.
Right. They all have sledgehammers.
Yeah. Well, the police were called to Grow World, where they found this woman with her whiskey, by the way, and her blue Honda Civic that had been partially driven through the front doors of the business. All 10 of the windows had been broken. Not only was there a sledgehammer, she also had a baseball bat and her bottle of Jack Daniels. She said, well, the store was closed, and I wanted to teach them a lesson.
Well, that'll do it because it's deceptive advertising. I went into a Grow World one time, left, still 5'6".
They got what they deserve then,
Hey,
right?
what song is this?
Metallica, Whiskey in the Jar.
Ah, because I was going for Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer and I didn't hear it. Bastard.
My apologies.
Too late now. We're no longer friends anyway about my whole Star on the Walk of Fame. Don't think I'll forget.
You'll get it someday,
I may
I'm
be
sure.
short in stature, but my memory is long.
That's the only thing about you, Long.
I will come in there and punch you.
Wow.
Zinger! Red Bull is launching a new line of organic sodas, but don't expect them to give you wings. Red Bull announced 4 new beverages. They will not have caffeine.
Well, that's stupid.
That is
They
stupid.
said this might be a little shocking for people who see it on the store shelves because everybody associates Red Bull with high caffeine.
And are they going to call them Red Bull?
Red Bull Simply Cola.
Stupid.
Red Bull Bitter Lemon.
Stupid.
Red Bull Ginger Ale and Red Bull Tonic Water.
Red Bull Simply E. Cola. That's a stupid one.
They said Simply Cola is the only one that will have some caffeine, but it is a tiny portion in
Right.
comparison to a Red Bull.
It's dumb.
Bitter lemon's yummy with gin in it. Anyway, an Uber driver in California has been making news. A sad picture of his mishap has gone viral. Now, Uber drivers, just like most of us, rely very heavily on their phone for directions.
Right, sure.
So you prop the phone up in its little holder, or if it's a car that's got, what do you call that, a nav?
Yeah, navigation.
On the dashboard. But everybody relies on that now.
Right.
Including this guy who took a right and found himself going down a staircase in the middle of the street instead of an actual street. So like the Queen Anne steps.
Yeah.
California has tons of those on
Especially
those
in
hills.
Queen Anne.
But I mean, it's just like that, but wider. The ones
Right.
in Queen Anne tend to be a bit small. But this is in Northern California where there are a lot of those rolling hills. So they've got staircases for pedestrians.
Oh, yeah.
This Uber driver took a right, didn't even think to stop, and got stuck halfway down the stairs.
Wow. He's an idiot. And you know, what is happening to people? Because I didn't take pride. That's not the right word, but I just thought it was admirable and neat. When you get in one of those black cabs in England, you say, you want to go to your mom's house, and you say, 12987 McGillicuddy Street. And they go, okay.
Yeah.
And they not only know where your grandma lives, they know the best routes, they know alternate routes. Now everybody's got a GPS, kind of wrecks it for those guys.
Yeah, those guys had to study for years and go through a bunch of exams.
I have heard that you can be a doctor faster than you can be a cabbie in England. I know you can definitely be a dentist faster because everybody's got such bad teeth that they become cab drivers.
Authorities have arrested 2 men on suspicion of having an underground bunker in their backyard. Now,
You can't do that.
Well, a lot of people have started to think about the future and do they need a bunker? Do they need to start, what do they call them, doomsday preppers?
Sure. Yeah.
You need to have an arsenal. Well, inside their underground bunker was about $5 million worth of cocaine.
Wow.
That's a lot of cocaine. Now, they said there was a...
That is a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, but if they think it's going to last them for the rest of their lives, you know?
And plus, you don't really need nearly as much food if you get that much cocaine.
Have you seen those big canisters of powder eggs? I mean, you need a lot of stuff if you're going to be down there forever.
Absolutely.
They had gotten busted in a traffic stop. They found some drugs in the car. They got a search warrant for the home and found the underground bunker, and that's how they got busted.
Which they called Archie.
And the reports are in from the American Kennel Club. They've released their yearly rankings. Today, the rankings came out of the most popular dogs in America.
Yeah, in America.
In America.
Okay.
Americans still love the Labrador Retriever.
Sure, as well they should. It's a wonderful dog.
But the nation's obsession with French bulldogs has reached new heights. Now, the Labrador has been number 1 for 27 straight years. And they said... years. However, the French Bulldog was 76th, and now, in the past few years, it has gone up to number 4.
Oh.
Number 4.
That's probably all because Danny's been talking about him right here on this show.
I want one so bad. If I thought my cat wouldn't just have a heart attack, I would. And my cat's way bigger than a little French bulldog. They'd win the fight for the first year. But,
no claws. I don't know.
Yeah, no, she's a terrible dog. Cat. No, she's a really bad dog.
You can get rid of the cat.
I can't.
Paul!
Okay,
What?
can I tell you, in real life, we're just kind of counting the days till that thing dies.
Oh,
So we can get a French bulldog.
Danny!
She's 11 years old. What is it that you want from me? It's not like she's 3 and I'm planning her death.
Yeah.
She's way overweight and she's like...
Whose fault is that?
That's you're feeding her pastrami out of your mouth, man. What do you expect?
Her to eat. What are you crazy? I didn't know what the kind of question that is.
Well, this is a new high for French Bulldogs, their highest ever. So number 1 is the Labrador Retriever, followed by German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, French Bulldog, German short-haired pointers have cracked the top 10 for the first time.
Those are great dogs.
Are they?
Yeah,
I gotta
really
see
cool.
what that looks
I
like.
had the German
hunting
short-haired
dogs.
pointer sister.
Beagle, Poodle, Rottweiler, Yorkshire Terrier, rounding out the top 10.
A lot of those dogs have excess fur, if you ask me. They're going to make a big mess. You're constantly going to rolling that sticky thing over you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll just shave it and feed it pastrami
I
out of your
will
mouth.
shave that. I'll shave it right now and feed it pastrami.
We've got music news, entertainment, and sports right around the corner. We also have your shot at $1,000. That's coming at 9:10. Stay here.
This traffic report is brought to you by the UPS store. Seeing about a 20-minute delay on I-5 northbound in Seattle as you make your way between Mid-Boeing Field and Lakeview Boulevard. And we also have some delays on I-5 southbound as you approach Mercer Street due to an earlier accident that has been cleared, but it's still about a 20-minute delay through there. With the UPS store shredding services powered by Iron Mountain, you can have confidence knowing your private information is staying private. Shred with them today at the UPS store. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Well, they've had their ups and downs, but it looks like Gene Simmons and his former Kiss bandmate Ace Frehley are enjoying an up. So much so, in fact, that Ace Frehley will be joining Gene Simmons on stage for a bunch of shows coming up in Australia. Now, they had a 16-year break.
Right.
You always say Ross and Rachel, they were just on a break.
They were.
Not a 16-year break.
So if Ace Frehley slept with some other rock star, it's okay. They were on a break.
You're right. Yeah. Well, they've announced that they are back together again. Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, out on tour together in Australia.
Wow. Now, just them?
Yeah, this is Gene Simmons doing touring and Ace Frehley joining him on stage.
Okay, here's the problem with that.
Yeah?
The guy you're hearing on guitar right now
Yeah.
is Ace Frehley,
Yeah.
and he's a genius. The guy you're hearing singing right now,
Yeah.
that's Paul Stanley, and he's a genius. The guy you're not hearing do anything, that'd be Gene Simmons. What's
Yeah.
he going to do?
Hang
Be
out.
Gene Simmons. Stick his tongue out.
Yeah.
I don't even know that he does that in other bands.
I
Who
don't
knows? What that's super weird.
Yeah, I would agree on all accounts. I've never seen Kiss live,
No, awesome.
so I don't know
so
what he
fun.
does. What does he normally do? Stick his tongue out.
Well, he stands with his feet really far apart, and then he rocks real hard, and then he sticks his tongue out, and then he goes, blah, and shoots blood all over the stage while Ace Frehley plays guitar, same stance, blah, 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 blah. Turns out his guitar neck is a rocket launcher and shoots fireworks out his guitar. It is something to see, ladies
sounds
and
fun.
gentlemen. I got excited.
Well, you have to go to Australia to see him.
I did.
The producer of the Broadway concert Rocktopia have announced that rock icon Dean Snyder of Twisted Sister will be returning to Broadway as a guest vocalist on the show. April 9th through the 15th, Rocktopia has featured a lot of other people, but the music, we talked about this a couple of days ago, it's classical artists and classic rock artists. So you'll have Journey and Mozart, Queen and Beethoven, Aerosmith and Handel, Led Zeppelin and Tchaikovsky, Puccini, The Who, Heart, U2.
That sounds weird and
That's
kind of
how it-
stupid.
Handel being one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Would you, are you mocking me?
Yes.
How'd you know?
I know. I thought that was really good. I thought I just sent it under the cover.
Well, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister going to Rocktopia on Broadway.
Okay. This is the only thing I've ever heard him sing. I never thought about him being a real singer. Is he a real singer? Can he really sing? Can he belt him out?
He is a real singer,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because, yeah, we know him for the
From
wig,
this.
makeup.
And I saw him on a festival show in England recently.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes out 60 years old or whatever the hell he is, just long, super white, crazy hair that appeared to be his own.
Yeah.
And in the best shape you could imagine
Yes.
being for 60.
Yeah.
God love him.
He's super fit. Well, some are patiently awaiting Christina Aguilera's next album, but it turns out she's not really working on that right now. She is focusing on her acting career. She is on the cover of Paper magazine, and in the article inside,
They're all paper magazines. What's she saying?
Right.
it's called Paper.
Oh.
The reason people are talking about her cover is that she is wearing zero makeup. And I gotta say, she looks really great.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would explain a lot. Well, I'm going to take off all my makeup. I'm beautiful.
It doesn't look like her, though.
No.
Like, you can't tell. I wouldn't have been able to tell who
Almost
that
looks
was.
like Kesha. It does not look like her. I agree with you. She looks a lot younger and just innocent, and maybe she's just one of those people who looks better without makeup on. I don't know.
Maybe. Innocent, huh?
She looks it. I didn't say she isn't.
What's this? Which chick are we talking about now?
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah. Her hips don't lie. No, that's the other one. That's Shakira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll be playing a robot in a sci-fi movie called Zoe, and she'll also appear in a comedy with Melissa McCarthy called Life of the Party.
All right. I'm down with all of this. I will take a shot on all of this.
Well, she was good in Burlesque.
Yes,
So
she
maybe
was.
She's got some acting chops.
Because they had to play Booty Shaker. It's like my favorite song in Burlesque. I saw that show like 10 times, that movie 10 times.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
It was funny because I hated it. I didn't hate it, but I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. And then it would come back out and I go, I'm going to watch this some more. It's stupid.
You thought you'd like it more the fourth and
No,
fifth
I was
time?
confident I still hate it. I just couldn't stop watching. Cher being stupid. Everybody's being stupid.
Everybody loved that movie. I've never seen it.
I don't think everybody loved that
Really?
movie. No, I think everybody mocked that
I
movie.
thought everybody won an Academy Award.
No.
I couldn't even get that out with a straight face. Well, if you were one of the fortunate who was at the KZOK Christmas party this past December, you saw history being made when Danny Bonaducci took the stage and did his take of the Hanukkah song.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little bit different, but it was sort of based on this.
Yeah, it was. It was based exactly on these chords because I can play them.
Adam Sandler, of course, the original performer of the Hanukkah song, did a couple of other updates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Manischewitz, the leading brand of kosher products, is asking Adam Sandler.
I had no idea that was what they did.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was wine or something. I thought they made a bottle of wine.
Yep, they make matzah bread.
Yeah, had no idea.
Bread, matzah toast, matzah
balls.
They make
Balls.
matzo ball soup mix. They make gefilte fish and jams. They make all sorts of stuff.
I had no idea. I thought they made that one booze drink. I mean, I assume they made something else.
Well, if you go to your grocery store, you'll find an entire section, especially this time of year, full of kosher items, and most everything will be made by Manischewitz.
Cool.
Well, they have asked Adam Sandler to pen the Passover song. They're hoping a song about the Jewish holiday will help kids embrace the spirit of the holiday season. And they say, Adam Sandler, if you do this, we will give you free Manischewitz products for life.
Right on. That's not nothing. It's
Now,
probably the first sip of booze that kid ever had. And growing up, my Jewish friends, it's like, oh, dude, I totally took some Manischewitz off my dad's table last night.
And Passover starts sundown this week, goes through April 7th. So starts sundown on Friday and goes through the following Saturday.
Nice. Well, it's no free matzo balls, but we're giving people a chance at $1,000. Text WIN right now to 200-200 KZOK.com to see the contest rules and all the details.
A lot of movie release dates are getting moved around, and we don't know why. X-Men Dark Phoenix, which has everybody and their grandmother in it, and The New Mutants, which has everybody and your grandmother in it, are both getting date changes.
Aren't those both X-Men movies?
They're both X-Men movies.
Wow.
Let's see. The first one is getting moved from November 2nd to February 14th.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so unless there's a romantic angle, that's not a good time for new movies to come out. And The New Mutants will be hitting cinemas now in the summertime, August 2nd. So does that mean they think it's a better movie?
I don't know. We were just having that discussion about another movie.
Queen movie.
The Queen movie just a while ago.
Also getting moved. Now, both of these franchises are starring people from Game of Thrones. And they said now the only X-origin film that comes out this year will be Deadpool 2. The rest of them are getting pushed to next year.
I wonder if I'm going to hate Deadpool 2 as much as I hated Deadpool 1.
Did you hate the first one?
Hated it.
Deadpool 2 looks pretty awesome.
Well, the thing is, I didn't know he was a character that lived before that movie. I just thought they wrote a movie called Deadpool, and then he kept talking to the camera, which I hate.
Yeah.
I anticipated hating that movie. I 100% thought I was going to hate that movie. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious and filthy, which it was.
I thought it was about 50% of those things.
Just filthy?
Yep.
The second one looks really funny, too.
I agree.
I'll give it another try.
WWE superstar John Cena has
Love him.
Well, who doesn't love him?
Yeah.
He's like the Rock White.
But I mean, he's like great.
He
He's
is
a great
great.
actor,
Yeah.
super funny.
He'll be starring in a live-action adaptation of the video game Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem.
I don't know this one, Derek. Is this one of your games?
Oh, this is an old PC game from back in the day. I remember my dad playing it at his workplace. It's very crass, very crude.
I thought you said it was PC.
Not anymore. Not in today's society, it won't be. So, yeah, no,
talking
Duke Nukem is all about saving the babes and killing aliens. And just imagine the most, like, over-the-top action hero, like Dolph Lundgren came to life. Well, no, Dolph Lundgren
actually
not.
is alive.
The cartoon Dolph Lundgren.
That's a great point.
Imagine if Dolph Lundgren came alive, the world would be an apocalypse.
But that sounds perfect for John Cena. What
Yeah.
Derek just described?
Yeah, his look fits the character for sure.
Nice. Y'all remember the guy Jeremy Meeks? Who
Oh,
is
yeah, he's the hot felon guy.
Hot felon.
Hot felon.
Well, the hot felon was married, has at least one kid, maybe two, with had a kid with his wife.
Right.
And this was before he went away, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Went to the pokey, gets out, gets a modeling
When
career.
he's that pretty, by the way, I'm pretty sure he was in the pokey.
Yeah.
So this guy, ridiculously good looking, has now had a very successful modeling career. And during this, he met the heiress of Topshop, which is big here, but it is gigantic in the UK.
Yeah.
This woman's name is Chloe Green. They have been a couple ever since.
What does that have to do with his wife, though? Isn't somebody talking to the wife?
Left his wife for her.
Yeah.
They are now estranged, if not going through divorce proceedings.
Okay.
His new girlfriend, again, this is the Topshop heiress. She's worth billions, is now reportedly pregnant with his kid.
Oh, man. First of all, I thought she was the heiress from Top Pot. This is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But,
Who wouldn't want to marry into that?
that's a gigantic brand
Topshop.
overseas. Yeah.
Yeah. Derek, look up, what is Chloe Green's net worth? I don't know, do heiresses have net worth, or does
Yeah.
it only come to them afterwards?
No, because like if you have $100 million, you still that you can't get, you might still have a $10 million net worth.
Yeah.
I can't find her net worth, but her dad is worth $3.8 billion.
Yeah. But he's constantly in trouble with the law and the government. That guy.
That's going to go to her, and I'm going to guess Jeremy Meeks is going to be okay.
He's firing like 100 employees at a time and this and that. And there's a picture of him. He's doing it from the back of a boat.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Thunderbirds lost to the Everett Silvertips 3-1 last night. Everett is currently leading the best of 7 series by 2-1.
Turn it around.
Turn around.
Well, you know when they're going to do that, don't you?
No.
Friday night.
Friday night at the Acesso Showwear Center. If you would like to be in attendance, see all the action for yourself, we have got a pair of tickets right now. Caller 10-800-252-1025. Call now. Win your way into playoffs.
Playoffs. What's the deal on that name, Silvertips?
What's the deal?
What's the deal on it?
The only thing I've ever heard of is Silvertips are dance shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And so nobody's doing dancing out there. Where'd they get that wacky name?
I don't know.
I'm wondering if it's something Native
Ice
American.
skates? Yeah, they have a silver tip on the blade of the ice skate.
Oh, yes, they do. Derek might be the winner.
That seems logical to me. I don't know.
I think so. I think he's making that up.
There's nothing logical about Everett, so that can't be it.
Well, better than to call them the Everett Tweakervilles.
Not really. I kind of like the Everett Tweakers. And look how fast they play.
Yeah, I like it too.
All right, yesterday, spring training, the Mariners defeated the Rockies by a score of 5-3. And tomorrow, the regular season opener against the Cleveland Indians.
Super exciting.
7:10 start time. All right, so history is being made for baseball this year. For the first time in 50 years, all 30 Major League Baseball teams are playing on opening day.
That's neat.
Very, very cool. Tomorrow is just going to be jam-packed full of baseball. And to celebrate, Dairy Queen decided to introduce a new limited edition Blizzard, which is a crazy combobulation of ice cream and the snacks you get at the ballpark.
Oh, neat.
Caramel-coated popcorns, caramel popcorn brittle, chocolate chunks, pretzel rods, caramel popcorn, and all of it's an ice cream.
Corn
blended up.
dog ice cream. Sounds bitchin'. I was going to take, after the show, I was going to take Derek out to a Dairy Queen, and that's when I realized, I hate him.
Derek has been devilishly funny this morning.
Devilishly. Well, funny's a strong word.
Yesterday, we talked about the New York Yankees, how they are going to be displaying players' faces in foam.
Right.
And you said, Danny, you had seen this before at the Snoqualmie Casino.
Yeah, they have one at Snoqualmie Casino. It's awesome.
And it's just a machine that then imprints the likeness. So Yankee Stadium announced they're going to have Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gary Sanchez, and Aroldis Chapman. And so you order the beer, and then you get their logo on there. How cool is that?
It's totally cool.
Well, the MLB, Major League Baseball, said, oh, no, you didn't. They are not legally allowed to use active players in the advertisement or promotion of beer and alcohol.
Who's the wet blanket tosser in that one?
It's just something in their union contract. So if Hisashi Iwakuma wanted to do a Budweiser commercial.
Right.
He's not allowed to because he is still a current player.
But in foam as a novelty,
I'm
it
with
just
you.
seems
It
it just
seems
seems mean spirited and
Yeah.
taking the fun out of it for the fans.
I'm with you, and I don't say that a lot. The Seahawks have released backup quarterback Travoin Boykin, the troubled backup quarterback in trouble, again being investigated for alleged domestic violence against his longtime girlfriend. He is denying the charges, but the Seahawks said, we will be moving on.
I mean, if he did it, obviously he deserves it. But I liked that guy, and his name was fun to say. Boykin.
Boykin. Yeah. But if he did it, he's got to go.
Yeah,
And there's
absolutely.
too much. I'm not necessarily a big believer of where there's smoke, there's fire. Sometimes they're just, I don't know, smoke. But where there's that much smoke, I mean, it's been a bunch with this guy.
Yeah.
I think he's a bad apple.
Boykin.
NBC's Football Night in America broadcast will have a different look this fall because Dan Patrick said he has turned down a new 5-year contract because he didn't want to make a commitment for that long. So he will be stepping away. They need a replacement, and that will likely be Mike Tirico. So different face for Football Night in America. And we've talked a bit on this show about LiAngelo Ball.
Right.
One of the Ball brothers.
Yeah.
Now, his brother, Lonzo, very good basketball player. He plays for the Lakers.
Right.
This is the kid who went to China, stole a bunch of sunglasses.
Yeah, what an idiot.
And then Donald Trump got involved, and then he
Nobody
left.
said thanks.
Yeah, and he left UCLA and then went to play in Lithuania. The word on the street is this kid's not a great basketball player.
Oh, that's bad.
But he's okay.
Plus, every time he goes in to play somebody else, the ball's in your court, which is not as funny as it sounds.
Nope.
See?
He has decided to make himself available for the NBA draft. Now, ESPN says that he's not even in the top 100 of draftable basketball players.
Wow.
So uphill battle, but his dad thinks he's good enough. He'll be entering this year's
They
draft.
should gag that guy's dad. Oh, using a ball gag. Get it? Yeah.
Now that's as funny as it
See?
sounds.
All right then.
The Sounders play Saturday night, the Montreal Impact, 7 o'clock, CenturyLink Field. And this weekend also brings us the Final Four. We've got Loyola versus Michigan at 3, and the 2 number ones, Kansas versus Villanova at 6 p.m. Whoever wins this weekend might, well, denote who gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in this room.
Oh, it's going to be me or Matt, right?
It's probably going to be you or Matt, but it could
Well,
also
what
be Danny
happened there?
Bonaducci.
Yeah, it could also be Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, if Kansas and Villanova, who both play each other, both lose, then Danny Bonaducci wins.
All right, now I don't follow baseball very closely. Can two teams that are playing each other both lose?
Two teams that are playing each other cannot both lose
Well, then
in any sport that I'm aware of.
I have problems then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think, well, the thing is you can't get any more points. So you're currently actually leading, but
Yes.
you can't get any more
No,
points.
I was dead last.
She's looking at possible points. You're dead last in possible points. You can't win,
You can't
even though
win.
you're currently leading.
You're number 1, but you can't win. Paul is number 4 or 5.
Paul
and
was
he
winning
is the
yesterday.
winner.
I'm winning in
What kind of
possible points.
scorekeeper are you?
Whoever wins between Villanova and Kansas will
Right,
determine.
but I have a whole nother day to be number 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're number 1 right now.
I don't even know how this happened.
You're the winner.
Congratulations to Steve in University Place. He is the winner of those T-Birds tickets. Go to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick those up for Friday night's game. Tomorrow on the show, we're giving away another boat ton of stuff, right?
We are. We'll have another pair of T-Birds and Silvertips tickets. And by the way, the Everett Silvertips are named after the Silvertip Bear, which is another name for a grizzly bear.
Who knew?
So
Who knew?
We'll have another pair of those playoff hockey
Nice
tickets
call
tomorrow
on
as well.
the ice skates there, Mr. I'm
Yeah,
wrong about
apparently I
everything.
did not know about this silver tip bear. I'm not a bear expert.
I'm going to get on a step stool and kick you in the nards.
You know who you need to step on a step stool to give a big kiss on the cheek to, don't you?
Well, yes, I do.
Mr. Silver Tips himself.
You know what?
Silver Tip.
Silver Fox. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that right now. And by the way, he can take on those Silver Tips all by
likes
himself.
that, by the way.
He can
What?
take on what by himself?
Wait, hang on. I'm hearing a
Yeah.
review. What?
I'm not sure he likes being called that.
What?
He's got a name. He's not
Yeah.
just a pretty face.
The Silver Fox, Steve Slayton. Who
Steve
happens,
Slayton.
Who happens to love the nickname Silver Fox.
Yeah.
You're just... Anyway, Steve Slayton's about to walk into this room on his silver tips, and he is going to play a bunch of classic rock and roll for your listening pleasure. We will get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. Seeing some long delays on I-5 northbound due to some stop-and-go traffic between Mid-Boeing Field and Lakeview Boulevard. About a 20-minute delay. And just some minor delays on the I-5 Express lane southbound as you approach 85th Street due to an earlier accident that has been cleared. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner and find your ink in stock every time and at a low price every day so you can meet every deadline. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.